10 a.m. Vicky's Quilt Shop. We're saying it's got a bit of a ring to that. I think I'm going to open up my new shop soon. 11 a.m. Brand new skill. This is going to be a new technique to the sewing quarter. It's a new technique to all of us, including Jenniffer, actually. So she says, I've loved learning about this. She will be here talking us through step-by-step Huck embroidery, and as well, we've got cross-stitch back by popular demand. So get in touch with us. There are lots of ways to get in touch, but if you are watching online, if you simply go on to www, I always think I do too many W's, www, all the W's, www.sewingquarter.com, and then click watch at the top of the screen there. If you scroll down below where I will be, it will have message the studio. Hi, Vicky. Say hello. Oh, I thought you were going to say hello to somebody. But there it is. So it's like Twitter, only you do it short and sweet. I think it's about 140 characters, and you can't send photographs through that way. But if you just want to send a message through to me, that's the quickest and easiest way to do so. It'll go to my producer, who is Paul, today in the gallery, and then he can ping it down to me here in the studio. Also, you can email. Now, this is my favourite way because I want to see your pictures. If you've tried Huck embroidery before, we want your pictures in so we can show them at 11 o'clock with Jenniffer. Or if you've had a bit of a dab at dressmaking, if you've made a cardigan, or if you've got any makes, I love, love, love looking at the Facebook Sewing Quarter fan page to see all of your makes. So we want to see them here and we can show them live on air, studio@sewingquarter.com. So that's today's lineup. Yes, so this is the jacket that Jenniffer's going to be making later. And look at this detail, it is absolutely beautiful. And in fact, we are going to attempt to make the whole jacket within this hour. I know, how crazy is that? But I've been told this is a relatively easy project. So if you're a beginner to dressmaking, we're going to be able to create this in the hour at 9 o'clock. Right. Something that happened yesterday. We had a brand new guest who I know was absolutely lovely. Wasn't she a natural? It was her first time on television and she was absolutely brilliant. So we had lovely, lovely messages about her, and we sold out of the Overlocker. As soon as we arrived in today, there were a lot of people who were still trying to buy it, I know, through the night and this morning, and it had sold out. So what we've managed to do is we've managed to get more into the system for today's show. Here it is, there it is, the Overlocker, £269, and there was an offer as well that you get the threads included. We can find, yeah, you get 4 threads included as well. We're going to find the picture for you. But if you watched yesterday's show, I know this was used by our brand new guest, and I know that she was raving about it. So it is a fantastic machine, used by so many of our guest designers, and they all love this Elna range. So if you do want to add that to your order, if you missed out yesterday, then you have got a chance of getting it again today, £269. So I did just want to mention that this morning, as I know it was a brilliant offer with free threads, all for £269. The way to do it is to speak to the customer service team. If you want any more information on this Overlocker, then please do speak to our team. They are fantastic. They are fantastic. They know their stuff. I know some customer service teams really frustrate me, but they are brilliant. We have endless positive feedback about them. So if you do want the Elna Overlocker, there it is, £269. It sold out yesterday, completely sold out. So we've not reordered it, but we've put it back into stock for you. We've managed to get more. We've managed to get more for you. £269. So it is there. Right. Look at this. Now we've got loads. We've got loads. We have got so many pre-cuts to show you this hour. Starting though with this is a collection that I think is going to be very, very popular. This is Denise Schmidt, and it's the Ludlow collection, which is a brand new range. This is a brand new range which actually only launched in February. So this is a really, really new range, not to us, to Denise. And it is absolutely beautiful. you are getting a lot of fabric. You get 29 fat quarters. 29 fat quarters. So I know that Denise was saying this is perfect for old-time quilts, and because of these lovely sort of pretty tones, pretty aprons or pillowcases and cushions, it is absolutely beautiful. Look, I mean, the difference in colour, but it still works so well. They complement each other beautifully. And if we have a look at these ones, these sort of very geometric sort of designs, and I know I was reading all about Denise and this collection in particular, actually. If you go onto her website, talks about her inspiration. Lucy, who is actually inspired, Lucy Brennan, Lucy was saying this to me. She said, look, yes, of course, fundamentally, do you like the fabrics? Do you like the colours? Do you like the prints and the patterns? But it's really, really interesting to read the designer stories and their inspirations behind it. Because Denise, actually, she was from, well, she grew up in Massachusetts and in an old mill sort of town. And this is where this collection has come from, the inspiration from where she grew up. And it's all about the little small red brick buildings and the rivers and the florals, the geometrics. You can see these lovely sort of florals coming through, but also they actually really, really complement each other. So you've got the solids, you have the geometric sort of squares and lines and straight edges. You have the lovely floral prints going through to your navies and your solids. Again, that's like an ochre, isn't it? It looks very, very bright on screen, but it's more like a mustard, limey green. It's really lovely. So that will take you really through to the summer, which is going to come soon, isn't it? We keep telling ourselves we have one day of nice weather, and I'm like, yes, it's spring, and then no. I do want to have a look at, which one should we have a closer look at? Because, I mean, you do get a lot of fabric in these. If I just open up one so you get an idea, you get 24 fat quarters, which is obviously half of, look at that, half of 29, sorry, 29. With the straight edges and that geometric sort of feel to it. It's very symmetrical. So it's great that you can even use this as a feature point to any of your designs and use them very minimally. Or you could have that as one nice big sort of cushion cover, couldn't you? It actually works out. For designer fabric, the price per fat quarter is very, very low. Is it £3.90, did you say, Paul? £3.90, yeah, £3.90. £3.90 per piece, and you've got 29. But it is nice that you've got these solids as well mixed in. So if you are going to use it as Denise sort of has intended for a lovely sort of old-time quilt or pretty aprons, it's going to look beautiful. I just love that you have got that different range of textures, all those different sort of colours and tones and patterns that work really, really well together. So there's $112.99 for a lot of fabric. This is going to last you a long time, whether it's for one big project or, as I say, you're just using little sort of bits and bobs as you go through. There it is. So we're going to come back to this in a bit because we do absolutely love this range, but we have got so much to show you today. This is our pre-cut hour, of course. So we have got loads and loads and loads. Tanya Whelan, let's go for Tanya Whelan. I will try and move this in without ruining this beautiful display. Because look, we just wanted to show how stunning all of these tones and colours work together. It's just so feminine, isn't it? This straight away screams romantic. It is so pretty and beautiful, from the spots to the sort of floral tones and the stripes. They work so well together, so well. I think this is actually one of my favourites. 23-piece fat quarter. It is her latest collection. Tanya Whelan, very, very, very popular designer, and they are all beautiful. This one in particular, I love these. It's very sort of fairy tale storytelling, isn't it? But I know she was saying that the sort of inspiration behind this was like the climbing roses and very romantic, very, very feminine, very pretty. Look at that lovely bandstand. And the vines just climbing up that bandstand. It is really, really pretty, and it works very well against the grey, but also really nice against the pink. It's a very sort of nostalgic collection, isn't it? It's that modern and vibrant take on a classic motif. These are all very sort of country, I was going to say country farmhouse, and it's not straight away what you think of the red and creams, but it's very like that shabby chic, nostalgic, pretty country feel to it. It is really, really pretty and feminine, isn't it? So as I say, you've got this sort of climbing rose motif, which comes in the 4 different colourways. That comes in the blue, the green, the grey, and the pink. Then you've got the spots, the 4 different spots. You've got the stripes. You've got this ditzy sort of floral print with the spots. And that, again, is in more sort of cream, the green. Just over £3.90 per fat quarter. For designer fabric, we know is really, really good, really good. So whether you are, again, using all of these in a quilt, they complement each other beautifully. But once again, I mean, you could make a lovely, it's screaming sort of pretty apron again, isn't it? The navy and mini posy print. So that's $89.99 for 23-piece fat quarter. Breaking news. Last time we did this, Hayley told me they were very, very, very popular. We've put together this bundle at the front. Let me try and pull this forward. Oh, there we go. So, this is a bundle that has only been on once before. We've put it back together, back due to popular demand, as a complimentary solid bundle to go with that Tanya Whelan collection, that lovely gazebo collection. So you get 3 meters of fabric, just £19.49. So you get half a metre of each. So you get half a metre of the dark blue, half a metre of, what's this one called, Paul? Hang on, right, which way are we going? Candy floss, vintage blue. I'm guessing this one's the spearmint. You have pistachio. You have mocha and ocean. I mean, these are all really, really nice colours, aren't they, that you're going to use in so many projects, and it just makes your designer fabrics go that extra mile. If you've got those solids, if you've got those, you know, base colours, but these tone really, 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 really well with these colours. Let me just show you as an example. See, they all go so beautifully. We've put these together for the 2nd time ever. This has only ever been on air once before, and it is great value for money at £19.49 when you're getting so much fabric. 3 meters of fabric for £19.49. They're all, sorry, I'm just laughing at me making a mess of this other bundle. They're all half meters. Spearmint is lovely, isn't it? Look at that. That is such a beautiful colour. £19.49, already going into a lot of baskets. It is going to be one of those that that goes so perfectly with a lot of your projects, a lot of the fabrics that you already have, but you must check out of your basket. If you are there, you only pay 1 postage and packaging all day long. The pistachio. I didn't realise how many different types of green there were, or so many different tones and types of green. It's very difficult to match up exactly. So it's lovely that we've done that and we've managed to say, right, okay, we think these will tone really, really well with the gazebo range from Tanya Whelan. £19.49, all 100% cotton, all machine washable. A lot of people adding these to their basket. Thank you for joining us this morning. Good morning if you're just waking up with us. Oh, it's a miserable morning outside today. It's not very nice. It is not very nice out there. So stay in and watch. Remember, we are now repeated live all day on Sky and on YouTube. So, our book, do keep adding that to your order, and the Tanya Whelan gazebo bundle, because they are lovely. They're really, really nice. This book, okay, this jelly roll book, we've got jelly rolls coming up in a bit, and they are really, really nice. But this is a great way to use your jelly rolls. If you've just bought some beautiful fabrics, we've got some Heather Bailey coming up, we've got an Amy Butler one, we've also got an Annamarie Horner, I believe. Oh no, we don't actually, it isn't, it's Joel Dewberry, isn't it? So this is a great way to use your jelly rolls. It's got so many different designs, in fact 12 reversible quilts. There's your hexagon star. It'll talk you through step by step exactly how to achieve the finished quilt, how much fabric you're going to need, and with also the back. That's what I love about this particular book. Pam and Nikki Lintott, we love. Did you see the Hen and Hearts quilt that we had on a couple of weeks ago? But look how detailed it is. It's lovely with the bright colours and all the images, but also it will tell you tips and step by step on how to create these, all of these. Look, I mean, we've got loads of post-it notes in this because we love so many of those. There's the basket weave. We've got spangles. That's lovely, isn't it? I mean, how lovely is that going to look in? It's going to look completely different in that Tanya Whelan fabric. So it will also have at the back of the book your techniques and your tools and what's going to be really, really useful for these quilts. But I mean, we all know Pam and Nikki Lintott. They are really, really famous sort of designers and do some beautiful quilts. So this is a really, really lovely book. There's the one on the front cover, and it's just a bit of inspiration of how to use your jelly rolls. That's just £16.99. That'd be a really nice gift for somebody, wouldn't it? That would make a really nice gift. Okay, as it is £16.99, you also have, oh, where is it? We've got something new. I was going to say we had scissors yesterday, didn't we? So, if you're brand new to the Sewing Quarter, if you spend over £10, then you get a free gift. Nice. Okay, so you get 2 meters of randomly selected fabric with your order over £10. There you go. So if you're a brand new customer, that is a new deal launching today. If you are a new customer, you don't need to worry. Sometimes when I buy something and it says, oh, free gift, and you have to find the tick box somewhere to activate the free gift, and they always put it in a place that you can never find it. But anyway, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. It will be automatically added to your order with all of your new purchases. So if this is your first order, if this book is your first order, then you will receive also 2 meters of fabric. It is a really, really lovely book. I know that John Scott absolutely loves Pam and Nikki Lintott. So there it is. So, I mean, look at this one. This is really nice. This is going to look really nice in Heather Whelan. And also, Annamarie Horner is one of our favourite new designers. Well, I say she's new designer. She's not a new designer, but she's new to us at the Sewing Quarter. She's been on air here at the Sewing Quarter. So, yes, we love her. It's a brand new collection, and I think that would look really nice in this basket weave. A lot of people putting this in their basket. Take advantage of that new offer launched today, or the diamond drops. So at the back, I did show the creative grid section. So it just tells you about general techniques, and it will help you with certain shapes in this book. Let me show you that a bit closer. It actually will tell you it will talk you through which quilts and which creative grids are useful. They are not essential, but they really, really help. And if you know our designers, if you know Lucy Brennan, then you know how handy creative grids are, and a lot of our designers just would not be without them. You may already have your creative grids, but for anybody that, we've just added these in today, for anybody that doesn't have one, we'll do the square. I love creative grids. I mean, it even references this brand, Creative Grids, because they have the grips, they have the stickers on the back, so they are made by quilters. They are made and designed by quilters. So they are fantastic. They're transparent, so you can see your fabric through. So you know if you are, you know, putting a focus on a key point in the center of your fabric, you're going to be able to see through. As I say, you've got these sticky pads, so you're not going to get that slip. They're really, really well marked with the measurements. So that's the square. That's 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. We can do this one. And they all come, by the way, with this little booklet. Now, it looks like it's just one of those sort of tabs that you get with, you know, maybe an address and stuff. But no, it actually has so much detail. It has step-by-step instructions of how to get the most out of this flying geese. Oh, so this is a 6-inch flying geese and 45 to 90 degree triangle. So you can actually create a couple of different shapes with this creative grid ruler. I know a lot of people that do get addicted to these creative grid rulers. They are brilliant because when you're cutting with your rotary cutter as well, this is going to be great that it can get right in, but it's not going to go any further and slip. You've got all of your angles and your measurements and instructions for $22.99, and that book actually recommends this specific ruler for certain jelly roll quilts in there. One last ruler. This is another one that the book recommends. So I just wanted to show it you. This is the non-slip, multi-size creative grid ruler. We have got demonstrations of these on YouTube, but also you can go onto the creative grid website and you can see demos for all of these, which will explain more again in your little pamphlet. But this is a dual purpose ruler. It cuts half square triangles, quarter square triangles, up to a finished size of 5 inch from strips of fabric. So it really does help out, and it's something that you're going to have with you. They're very, very good quality. So look after them and they will last you a lifetime. Just $19.99. There it is. Okay, remember the Overlocker is back in stock. For anybody that missed out yesterday, we didn't put enough supply in. I don't think they expected to sell as many as they did yesterday. There were so many of you that bought the Overlocker. We also added in free threads. 4 3. Oh my word, that's so difficult to say. 4 free threads. There you go. For just £269. That's £31 saving. £269 is the price for the Overlocker. You'll always pay that. But today, you're saving £31.49 because we've added in those threads for free. So I just want to keep reminding you about that because it is a brilliant deal and it did sell out yesterday. We've managed to add more stock. We've managed to make more available for you today, as we did have some emails through the night saying, I can't, it's all sold out, it's saying out of stock. We've managed to allocate it, so you can now get that for just £269. I mentioned Heather Bailey jelly roll, didn't I? So let's do it. I can't talk and it's only 8:25. Heather Bailey jelly roll. We just had a look at the jelly roll in the book, New Ways of Jelly Rolls. This is the Heather Bailey True Colours collection, which is just so beautiful and vibrant. I have one open here so I can show you. It's open, it's open. I haven't done this. I can't get told off. I absolutely love this collection. I've seen it time and time again, and it still sells so, so well. So you have the 2.5-inch strips, and you just have some of the most beautiful, vibrant colours, which I know that we've put into quilts before, but also these are just going to be great for your stash. That if you want to use just small sections and really add some bright colour into your projects, then this is the range to go for. They are all so vibrant. I'm not displaying this great, but you can see what you're getting here. I mean, so much fabric. How many strips have you got in here? 40 strips, 42.5-inch width strips. But that is what's so good about this sort of collection, is the vibrancy. If you bought the Pam and Nikki Lintop book, then definitely get yourself some jelly rolls, and you've got lots of inspiration and information in that book. So they have a few different sort of designs and patterns, but then in different colourways. So the circular sort of design, you have the blue, the geometric circles, the blue, the reds, and the oranges, and the pinks. Same with the sort of disco circles. Disco circles, that's the technical term, you know. With the blue and the pink and the green. I don't know why this reminds me of some sort of video game. It's because it's, yeah, pixelated really, isn't it? It's that pixelated sort of pattern. Again, in the black, the green, the green. So there we are. That is the Heather Bailey True Colour Jelly Roll range. We all know the true colours, but it's nice to have the big long strips, isn't it? Sorry, Chris, our floor manager. I am going to just fold these as neatly as I can. Joel Dewberry. Jelly roll. I should have one open. So this is Joel Dewberry. Oh. Yeah, I don't have Joel's roll open. A Joel roll. Oh, these are lovely and vibrant, aren't they? So this is the Atrium range, which is slightly different to the Fat Quarter one that we've got, isn't it? Yeah, that was the Avalon range. These are lovely and bright though, again, really beautiful colours. $44.99 for 40 strips. 40 strips, which are 2.5 inches by 43 to 44 inches. They're all really long strips. Yeah, yeah. See, this is lovely, isn't it? Let's see, have a look through here. Yeah, one of these rolls you could make, you could make one of these quilts. It will tell you through the instructions how much fabric you're going to need. But with a 40-piece roll, you are going to be able to create a really, really special big quilt. Big quilt. And what I love about this book as well is that these quilts, the designs that they have are reversible. So it will tell you how to create the front and the back and make them both look beautiful. Okay, are we going to do the other jelly roll? Amy Butler. Yes, I have got this one open. This is Amy Butler's. I love how they come, literally like a cake. You've probably had them called layer cakes, but before, these are or design rolls or jelly rolls. But this is Amy Butler design roll, but they are really lovely. Yeah, we love Amy Butler. The colours again, look at this. So you've got a lot of floral prints on this one, but again, they all complement each other beautifully. In fact, I can imagine this one, you know, the one on the front cover. I think that would work really well. Really nice colours, aren't they? Oh, we do love Amy Butler. Look at that one. That's really pretty. There you go. There's so much. It's great to get your pre-cuts into your stash. If you've got any projects that you're in the middle of, or if you've got any projects that you're thinking of starting, it's lovely to have pre-cuts ready to go, because I can imagine how frustrating it is. I think the cutting part of it is actually really, really consuming. And because you've got this jagged edge as well, it means they're not going to, the pinked edge, it means that they're not going to fray. But, oh, see, this is one of our favourites. But with the way it's been cut is really clever as well, that you are still going to get that detail. You are still going to get these lovely sort of peacocks. But we all love that one, don't we? And there it is as well in the sort of gold. The gold is really beautiful. This one is limited. The Amy Butler Soulmate design roll is limited. It's $49.99. And you do get so much beautiful designer fabric. It does mean that you can use this sparingly. You could fussy cut bits and use it sparingly, or you could make one big fancy Amy Butler quilt, which is going to look fabulous. That's $49.99. Okay. So this is one of the Pam and Nikki Lintop book. The other one is called 2 from 1 Jelly Roll. So we're going to stick with the jelly roll theme a second. This is another really beautiful book. Again, you learn how to make 2 different quilts using just 1 jelly roll, half the fabric and twice the inspiration. So it has, again, some really, really lovely quilts and lovely inspiring sort of designs and pictures and colourways. That's what I find is really difficult. It's not only selecting your fabric, but looking what works together and how to place them out to make them work really, really well. 18 designs in this book for just $14.99. It makes another lovely gift. That's a really nice one. But again, I think it is the fabric that's chosen. So if you know what sort of colourway you want, you can just see which pattern is going to work best with it, because it will change the look completely. We've done this one, I'm sure, haven't we, in red? But that will look really, really nice in, I'm thinking the bright Heather Bailey True colours. Yeah, I'm sure we've done this one before, haven't we? But we've done it in a red and it looked completely different, more in sort of the farmhouse quilt colours. General techniques, again, it's got lots of techniques and tips. Oh, that's cute. I love this one. Teddy bear one. But even if you're making sort of small quilts, if you want to just do a couple of the blocks, if you just want to make, say, 4 of the blocks and just have a mini quilt, just having this book will give you all of the guidelines, all of the steps on how to make each one of these patterns, each of these blocks. Okay, yeah, there's the bear one. So that's the other book by Pam and Nikki Lintop, which we love. Something that is incredibly popular is where are we? Oh, this one. Back to this one. Right, it's been very, very popular, Paul's saying. This one we have only aired once before. We've only aired once before, and it was extremely popular. It's back in stock, and it's $19.49. You get 3 meters of fabric, 3 meters of fabric, and it complements the Tanya Whelan gazebo collection beautifully. But it's also just great to have these solids in your stash, because it means that your designer fabric goes that extra mile. You have ocean, half a metre of ocean, half a metre of mocha, half a metre of spearmint, half a metre of pistachio, half a metre of bubble gum, candy floss, sorry, and half a metre of vintage blue. Just $19.49. There they are, that kaleidoscope of colour that do go really, really well with that Heather Whelan, no, it's not Heather Bailey, Tanya Whelan gazebo collection, which I'll show you as well in a second. They all do look beautiful together. I've just made a mess of Chris's display though. So 3 meters of fabric for $19.49. Please do check out of your basket if you are sitting there with it in your basket and you're thinking, I'm wondering whether I'm going to put anything else in my basket before I check out. Don't worry, you'll only pay one postage and packaging all day long anyway. This is this is what we think it complements beautifully. So if you love this designer fabric, but you do just want to make it go that extra mile, yeah, there we go. If you want to make it go that extra mile, then we see they do complement each other beautifully, and you get so much for your money in this bundle as well. But $19.49 is for the 3 meters of solids. We've done the hard work and found the complementary fabric. So there at the bottom you can see $89.99 for the Tanya Whelan gazebo range. You get 23 piece fat quarters. So it's a lot of designer fabric for that price. Works out about £3.90 a fat quarter. But it's really, really pretty. Can we do some of our fat quarter bundles? Because we have got Annamarie Horner, which she was here in the studio. Everybody loved Anna. We've got two. We've actually got two bundles from Annamarie Horner, and she is absolutely lovely. Let's go for the pink. So we've got the sort of cooler colours and we've got the pinks. But this is from the Sweet Dream collections. And it was actually, if you watched the show back or if you've been onto her websites, this was actually inspired from her trip to Australia. So all of the sights and the sounds and the inspiration that she had from going to Australia. So you'll see lots of nature inspired. I even love that you've got the sort of bugs on here, but you would think, oh, it's not going to look very pretty, but it really looks lovely with the flowers. There's a lot of nature inspired, there's a lot of flowers. I mean, look at this. This is Paul's favourite with the ochre and the pink. But she said that it took it from inspiration from the botanical gardens in Perth, the river in Melbourne, art galleries and wading in the Indian Ocean, which I absolutely love. And if you just see it without knowing her story and without knowing Anna, then you just think it's lovely fabric anyway. But when you say, oh, actually, she travelled to Australia, she spent a lot of time with quilters out in Australia and got so much inspiration from them. So you've got this theme of like botanical gardens and really beautiful colours. So she says she feels like she has part of Australia with her still in this collection. So there's the birds again, but in a different colourway. It's crazy, isn't it? This is what I said earlier on with as soon as you change the colourway, it can look completely different. And this is what I mean, look, how completely different that looks. Those lovely flowers and the birds, it's so contemporary and so, so vibrant. But Anna was so proud of this collection. It's a brand new collection for her and it's brand new to us. But what is lovely is that you can fussy cut with this. There's so much detail, whether you choose to use them all in a big quilt or whether you are fussy cutting. If you've already bought this, I'd love to hear from you and let us know what it is that you're doing. There it all is. But Anna was saying, I mean, use this to fussy cut, for patchwork, for borders, for applique, for needlework, or if you're using this as a big sort of feature in a particular garment. So they're the sort of pink tones. It's it's the same again, but in the cooler sort of shades, the blues and the greens, which are lovely. So there's the blues, the teals, with the red. This is the same one again, isn't it, that we opened in the pink. But look at how different that looks in the cooler sort of shades. Be really nice for applique. Whether you're using them for patchwork or borders, applique. I actually do think that these are feature pieces. I do think this designer bundle is absolutely beautiful and I would use this as a feature. But especially, yeah, that's lovely. That would be a really nice cushion, wouldn't it? You've got it in the burgundy as well. The flowers. Look at how the colours really complement each other. I mean, that one is so vibrant, isn't it? You can really, really see that sort of tropical, botanical garden inspiration coming through. That is awesome, isn't it? With the hints of those Indian Ocean blues as well. Get in touch. I want to know what you're going to do with these. If you've already put them in your basket or if you've already bought them in the past, I want to know what you're planning on doing. Anna, go onto Anna's website as well because she's so lovely. As you say, she's been here in the studio. She's got such a big family. She's such a lovely, lovely woman. And I think she's got 7 children. She's got 7 children. She's got 7 children. But she said she loves to hear from everybody that's made projects from her fabrics, and she always loves to hear from you, so you can actually get in touch with her on the website. But the colours are so pretty, but also complementing each other. So if you are making a quilt, they work really, really well. Okay, just have a final flick through. That's really nice. All right, next up we have, so that's Annamarie Horner. We'll do Joel. This is the biggest pack that we've got. This is the Joel Dewberry Fat Quarter pack. There's 24 of these, 24 pieces. Again, he's got a massive family, hasn't he? Joel Dewberry, I know that when I was reading about all of these designers, they all have similar, it's strange, they've all got a similar sort of outlook on life and similar sort of backgrounds, which obviously they're all very, very arty and very, very creative. But I mean, they look lovely together, don't they? And what Joel was saying about this collection is about creating completely different shapes and patterns, but bringing them together and making them complement each other. And they really, really do. So again, if you are making a big quilt, they are going to look lovely. But I would, again, use these as features. So this works out about, in fact, about £3.88, Paul's telling me, a fat quarter. So a lot for your money when you're looking at designer fabric. I've got room for one more. There you are. So you have, how many pieces? 24 pieces mixing unrelated print, but it does find absolutely beautiful, brilliant harmony, which is perfect for quilts. Lovely for this time of year as well, isn't it? It's a really sort of springy palette. I mean, look at this. This is really pretty. The greens and the blues, this is the cooler sort of shade, but then next to the pinks, it does give you that lovely, oh, can't open it, that lovely springtime feel. Yeah, that's really nice. It's classic beauty, isn't it? I mean, this is something that looks so classic. It's another brand new collection. Looks so classic, but it just never goes out of style. Sometimes we do have designs that are to a specific taste, or that's really in at the moment. Whereas I think with Joel's collection, this is all very, very classic that will never date and will never go out of fashion and will never, it's always timeless. Right, let's pack this up. So, if you need some inspiration, if you're thinking, I absolutely love this, but I've no idea what to make with it, we have got some books on different quilts. So, in fact, not just quilts, lots of things that you can make with fat quarters. So, shall we go traditional first? Because, as I said, this is timeless. This is something that is timeless. Traditional. Classic comfort quilts. So this is your, these are all quilts. You have, how many patterns in here do we have? 11. 11 projects. 11 projects. It's a lovely book with, again, step by step. I can see why John Scott struggles to flick this open. They were saying to me, oh, John really struggles to open this. He has it flat down, and I can see why now. It's harder than it looks. Now, these are sort of more autumnal and muted sort of tones and colours. Imagine if you are using Amy Butler or Joel Dewberry or Annamarie Horner with some of these more classic shapes and blocks. So this will talk you through some of the more sort of classics. It's really, this is probably one of the most descriptive books, actually. It's one of the smaller books, but it really does have so much information and really comprehensive instructions. So there's 11 different designs, 11 different quilts, tell you exactly what you need, how much fabric you're going to use for all $11.99. So that's your traditional. We have other fat quarter books as well. Do you want to go through any of these? The cat. Which one's got a cat? Quick makes. Oh, this is more sort of me. So quick makes, yes. Quilts I know it can take years and years and years, and you can put them to bed and bring them back out. But if you just want quick makes out of fat quarters, then this is awesome. Bunting, it's got cushions, it's got a lot for babies and children as well. So if you're making anything as gifts, it's got pin cushions, button covers. It's a really, really, really nice book. Phone cover, very contemporary. A brooch. So this is a really nice one to do with grandchildren, isn't it? Or to do with your family. If you're a beginner or if you're starting out, baby and child, there's a whole section dedicated to baby and child. So you've got bibs, lovely little bag, drawstring bag, shorts. So it's not just about making cushions and patchwork. You've got clothes and dressmaking in here, travel sewing kit, festival bag. This is awesome. I really like this book. I mean, look at that. Come on, guys. Everybody should have one of these. Everyone here in the studio, I know we've got a lot of keen photographers, here at Sewing Quarter, so that's perfect for everyone here. Your workroom. We all like to kit out our workroom, pimp out our workroom. It's going to look lovely. Now, we are flying through this hour. We've only got 10 minutes left, so we've got a few more bundles that we want to show you, but that's a really lovely book. 25 different projects in there. This is a brand new pack. Brand new pack. Now, we did have it's the red and cream one. We had a red and white book last week. Red and cream and red and white is probably the most classic traditional colour that you quilt with. It's almost like, you know, the farmhouse quilt. I think these are fabrics that were actually used in that farmhouse quilt, or will work really well with that. We bought it only last week. First time last week. 10 packs. So you've got 10 fat quarters in there for $39.99. This is an open one. I'm being told I can. And this is the classic. This is the traditional classic bundle, which is lovely for quilts, cushions. If you're needing a bit more extra fabric, if you're making that big quilt, or again, if you're just using that book and making a phone cover, or there was even in one of the books we found there was, oh yeah, it was the other one we've got with Post-it notes, the 25 projects. I'll show you that in a second. Tea cozies and cafetiere cozies, $39.99, 10 pack of the red and the cream. Yeah, it's really, really lovely. It is really lovely, and it's classic, it's traditional. We've seen a lot of very bright, very contemporary and sort of more modern fat quarters this hour, haven't we? So it's nice to have all of these all together, the more traditional sort of feel, for $39.99. The book that I've just mentioned is this one. And it's all about the home. So that one's more sort of quick makes with, I think that's really nice for children as well, different makes that you can do. But this, oh, there's no point talking about this too much because there's less than 10. There is less than 10 of these. If you want it, put it in your basket now because I think this is going to be the last time you see it. We absolutely love this because, I mean, look, you've got, have you ever seen a cafetiere cozy? How cool is that? For any, well, it was actually my producer, Paul, who was flicking through this morning. He was like, I've got to put some Post-it notes in this. The first two that he did was tea and coffee. He loves his tea, doesn't he? But it's got, what have we, oh, it's got the templates in the back as well, which is great. Notebook cover, classic cushion, drinks coaster, storage buckets, wash bags, padded coat hangers. It is just a really nice book that's all about your home. So there's the cafetiere cover, and it will talk you through again step by step. Your tea cozy. What's this one that you've storage bucket. There's so much, but then also at the back you've got the templates for all of the projects. Coasters. That's a really, really lovely book, isn't it? And lots of quick makes with your fat quarters. So 25 pretty and practical projects to make from fat quarters or fabric remnants, so just what you've got in your stash. Oh, we haven't got long. Anthologies, which one do you want to do? We'll whiz through them all, I mean a minute on each. We can pick up the orange, there we are. So the orange bundle, this is the really bright, I love this, it's like marble, isn't it? Anthology, very, very, very popular collection here at the Zone Quarter. And you do get beautiful sort of peachy tones right through to the bright burnt oranges with tones of red coming in and splashes of pink. But it is a completely different look if you really want that sort of marble-esque finish. Then Anthology is definitely the one to go with. It's $44.99 for 12 pieces in that fat quarter bundle. But really, really nice quality fabric. When you get this home, you'll feel that straight away. Really, really nice quality fabric. So that's the orange. Yellow. Nearly summer, of course. Let's have a look at the sort of springtime makes. If you are making some things ready for the summer, then this is definitely one to go for. And I do love that effect, that marble sort of almost like a stained effect. I don't know that you can see it very well on the camera, but so you get, there you go. I love it. The colours graduate. It's almost like that sort of variegated feel to it. $44.99, 12 piece, so really ranges. So you can see that graduation of colour. They literally are like a rainbow, just blends from one to the other. So there's the yellows, all of your different tones of yellow, going right to your cream with the splashes of yellow. Brown or latte. Oh, this is nice. This is all very sort of earthy tones. They call it brown, but you've got lots of different sort of earthy tones. And it's not just boring brown. Look at that. You've got that marble, earthy kind of feel to it. With sort of sand tones. That's really nice, isn't it? They all have this marbled effect to it. It's beautiful. All great, great quality. There we go. For $44.99. Sorry that I'm whizzing through these. I know that we're just late on time now. Should we do the Amy Butler? Amy Butler. Night music. Okay. I do love these, yeah. They work really, really well together. And it's always popular. Amy Butler, we know and we absolutely love. $46.99. So what is really, really nice about this, you can see that Amy Butler absolutely loves sort of meditation and yoga, and she's very, very spiritual and really, this was a collection that she actually said is the mysterious, mythical, very charming collection. She had on the website, I'm sure she had a lovely dress that was colours like this. Yeah, they're really nice. Paul's going, wow, 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 I love this. Please go onto the website. I don't have time to talk about it in depth now, but this was inspired by an Indian folklore, which is really, really interesting. And you can kind of see that coming through, can't you? $46.99. Yeah, it's really lovely, isn't it? I mean, this would look lovely in a plique, wouldn't it? Look at the bright colours. If I've just opened this one out, and that is so pretty. Mixing, again, those really beautiful tones together. It's very charming. It's very, very charming. It's mysterious and magical. It does have that sort of magical feel, doesn't it, that you've got these bursts of vibrant colours. $46.99 for a 12-piece fat quarter. And they're all lovely colours. If you are a new buyer, which I know a lot of you actually are this morning, brand new offer today, a brand new offer. So if you're purchasing in a single order over £10, you will get 2 meters of randomly picked lucky dip fabric. So that's so good, isn't it? For free, absolutely free. Okay, Paul's got a bit more information. And that will be worth at least £19.60. So it's really nice fabric that you're going to get as well. And it's a lucky dip. So it's definitely worth, if you're thinking of making that first purchase today, you only need to spend £10 with us and you will get 2 meters of fabric for free. There's loads of new techniques coming up today. So that's that one. Have we got time to show anything else? Stories and Songbirds, it's this one. Oh, Margot Eleanor, this is really lovely. Again, you can see that, no, it's not, it's this floral one, isn't it? It's that floral library. I know that Margot is saying this is the floral library, so you've got so many different colours, but all with this lovely ditzy print. Well, here you've got the ditzy sort of print, and then here you've got larger flowers, but in different colourways as well. All very nature-inspired, so you've got some lovely, pretty butterflies and ditzy daisies. It's really pretty. $49.95 for 12 pieces in a fat quarter. So we are limited, Paul's saying on this one, very, very limited. Perfect for patchwork or as a quilt. If you were going to use these all together as a quilt, they're going to complement each other beautifully. Or singularly, if you want to use this as your feature of any of your projects, then it's going to look lovely as well. So that one is $49.95. I'm sorry that we're flying through these now. If you did see yesterday, we had an offer on an overlocker. We've managed to repeat it because so many people missed out. You're saving $31.49 today because we're offering free thread. 4 free threads. That's so hard to say. But for anyone that missed it yesterday, it is available there as well. Now, Jenniffer is coming up on the other side, and we're going to make a brand new jacket. It's a brand new pattern to the channel, and she's going to show us how to make the whole lot, the whole jacket, right after this.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue also comes with a free gift.
Tune in on Wednesday the 11th of April when we are joined by the fabulously talented Lucy Brennan. Lucy will be showing us how to make a beautiful compass quilt designed by Jo Avery. This colourful quilt uses foundation paper piecing to create a kaleidoscope of colourful curves in bright solid and pattern colours. With colours of pink, orange, yellow and green, this quilt will be the centrepiece of any room. So join us and find out Lucy's quilting tips and tricks to create your very own compass quilt on Wednesday, the 11th of April at 9 AM. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Tune in on Friday the 13th of April when we're joined by our favourite toy maker, Jo Carter. Jo will be bringing back her softy turtle and showing us some brand new fluttery butterflies. You can make both of these adorable softies from just one kit, and we have 3 bright colourways available for you to choose from to ensure you can add both characters to your collection. Jo will be here to give you all the tips and tricks you need to make her lovable turtle and her brilliant new butterflies, which were first seen in Simply Sewing magazine. With their soft, plush fabric and brightly coloured quilted wings, you'll be flying away in no time. So join us when we're all aflutter on Friday the 13th of April at 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Hello, welcome back to the Sewing Quarter, and I'm wearing what we're making next. I love this. I'm going to try and steal it, I think. That looks really nice, doesn't it? So this is the next make, and I think this is my second ever dressmaking show. It's really nice. I just wanted to show you in the centre there because it's a really nice length as well. We're going to be able to make this, well, Jenniffer said, we're going to be able to make this hour, so I can't talk too long right now because we want to know how to do it all. It says on the pattern, easy. Yes, it says on the pattern it is easy, so for all beginners. Or for anybody that just loves it. If you are more advanced, then you're going to be able to rustle this up in no time. So we've got 2 sizes in the pattern available. 16 to 26. Or the most fabric that you're going to need for this is 2.5 meters. 2.5 meters for 26. So, I mean, you don't really need that much fabric either, do you? So that's the pattern. This pattern is brand new. There are 4 different options of how you can make it or how to wear it or how to adjust the pattern. So all the instructions are in there. And we know McCall's, there's the website. So you can see how much fabric you need. But email in anyway. Email in if you've got any questions. Email in and then we will be able to answer you. As well on there, I'll be able to ask Jenniffer. Then we also have sizes 4 to 14. $8.99, what a great price for a brand new pattern. And it looks lovely, doesn't it? So this is, the one that I'm wearing is option C, really. Well, it's this one, but without the belt. But it looks lovely with the belt. I was just saying I'm not sure whether it needs the belt. The way I'm wearing it, it's really nice. If you want it to be more of a jacket than a cardigan. But it feels lovely. The fabric that we've used really feels really, really nice. We've got it in a range of colours. The one that I'm wearing is obviously this teal. So this is Ponte Roma, 76% polyester, 19% viscose, 5% spandex. So it has got that nice stretch to it. It's 150 centimetres wide. So that's the teal that I'm wearing, 1/2 metre, $3.99, and it's so beautifully soft. It's really nice. We've got the camel, which Jenniffer's going to be using. This is going to go with so much in your wardrobe as well, isn't it? If you want to steer away from wearing the navies and the blacks, then go with this one. That's going to look really nice. Even in the summer, that's going to look lovely. So that's $3.99 for 1/2 metre. $3.99. That's it for the 1/2 metre. That's really good price. We've got the navy blue, which again, every single day. Navy blue. So if you're after 2.5 meters, for example, then that's 5 units. You're going to need 5 units. So it's nothing, is it? $3.99 for 1/2 meter. It's such great value. And with something that you're going to be able to do very fast, we're being told. And then the last one that we've got in this section is grey. This is marl grey. So that one, again, same price, $3.99, but this is that grey with the sort of white running through, $3.99. Now, if you want something slightly different, if you want stripe, it feels so soft. I can't wait for you to get this home because it does feel beautiful. It's really, really soft. We've got stripes and spots. We'll go for the spots first. That's going to be a completely different look, isn't it? So you've got the spots. The composition is different. It's 96% polyester, 4% spandex. Still 150 wide. 1/2 meter for $3.99. This is very summery. This is very, very summery. This is lovely. The ivory and navy. Ivy and navy. Ivory and navy, that is so hard to say. It is hard, isn't it? It's not just me. Okay, and the last option is black. This is the black stripe. So this one is $3.99, 1/2 meter. So there are all your colour options, there are all your fabric options. You've got the option as well of getting the brand new pattern. I'll take that with me. Okay. Hello.
Mwah.
How are you?
Mwah. I'm very good. You're looking very ravishing in that.
Thank you. It was like it was made to fit perfectly. I love it.
Great.
It's really nice colour as well.
It's nice and warm, isn't it? It's a great fabric. When I was sewing with it, I was like, this is going to be a fantastic one just to put on, whether it's winter or summer. Yeah. You know, when you're having a barbecue outside, you get a little bit chilly, but you don't want to get your coat out. It's perfect
exactly.
One for that.
It really is. And it says on here easy, which I love.
Super easy. Super, super easy. Yeah, there's no darts or anything like no fixtures and fittings, there's no zips or anything like that. It's just to sew up and off you go. Okay. So hopefully we'll get it done in the hour. That's what I'm aiming for anyway.
So there's 4 different options. Which one are we with?
So we're going to go option C. So that's basically without the belt.
Okay.
you'll be able to make that. So if you're doing bag straps, for instance, that's all it is, the belt, so it's not a complicated one. But I'm going to show you how to do C, because I think that covers off that lovely fall at the front, but it's got a little cheeky bit of detail in the back.
I don't know whether I've shown, well, I did show you at the start of the show, but
got a lovely little gather in the back of the neck, which I think just adds that lovely little bit of detail in there. It's really lovely.
Oh, I think we've got a still of it. There we go.
There you go.
The pattern sold out in minutes yesterday, so please, please, please be careful, because this is a brand new pattern to us, isn't it? A lot of people already put it in their basket. So where do we start?
So first of all, you need to take your vital measurements, so that's your bust, waist and hips, to make sure that you're obviously getting the right size pattern for you. Now, obviously, it is a stretch, so it's a little bit forgiving, so don't worry too much if it's, you know, because obviously it's stretch, but you still want to be getting that fit and that look. So
are you best to go round up? Then
yeah, always go, if you're teetering, always go up rather than go down. That's what I'd do, that general rule of thumb, because you can always take in, you can't take out. So I would always go up. So on the back of the pattern there, just at the top, you've got your details at the top here. So you've got your bust, waist and hip, and then you've got your appropriate sizes on those. So if you just follow those correctly, and then you'll be able to find out what pattern you need. So don't follow what you would normally go with your, like your high street shops, for instance. So if normally you'd go grab a medium, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a medium in this. And that's what the difference between your dressmaking patterns and your high street patterns. Don't fall into that trap. So
it's all on the website though, isn't it?
It's all on the website,
so you can have a look now.
You can spend your time and make sure you get the right pattern for you. And what's really great about the pattern as well, I just showed you very quickly on here, this is the option for C and D, which is the front section. You've got your finished sizes on the pattern. So if, for instance, you're going to go with your bust, let me just quickly check. Your bust is 34 to 36 inches. The finished size on the medium is 38.5, so you've got quite a lot of difference in there. So you can tell that it's a very loose fitting garment, so you might be able to play around with the sizes as well. But the one thing I wanted to show you is that you mentioned about the length. It has got a really nice length on it.
It does.
But if you do want to make it longer or shorter, you do have options for that as well.
Oh, great.
And also you can see that there is a shaping in that waistline. So obviously, if you're like myself, I have quite a low waistline, then I would need to move that pattern down so it still sits nicely against my body. Whereas if you want it longer, you would be lengthening down this section here. Okay, so you don't lengthen your cardi here, you lengthen it there.
Right.
But if it's about your waist, so we were talking about it this morning, if I go to the high street and I try a garment on that has a fitted waist, it will never fit me. It's always too high, it turns out like a pilot line. Whereas this is the line we're talking about, so I know that I would need to lengthen that down by maybe about an inch or so, and then just fill in the gap and then you're ready to go.
Okay, so what is this? That's not these lines,
no,
is it?
No, so that's the length and the
short.
So whether you're the extra small, small or medium or large and so on and so forth, you've got a cut line here. So what you would do, so if your waist is lower like mine is, you would cut the pattern, separate it by the difference, and then place it onto your pattern. Now you have plenty of tissue paper from the leftover bits that you can patch that in, and then you just match up the lines. These lines are according to what pattern size you would cut out.
Right.
So after I've taken my 3 measurements, let's just say I'm a medium, you can see I've already gone ahead and cut out the medium there. But it might be that you're very small on top, so in the bust area you might be an extra small, but when you get down to the bottom, you're a pear shape, you might be a medium. So you could grade between the 3. Okay.
Oh, great.
But
it's all really nicely fitted, isn't it?
Nice and
it doesn't just hang.
But it's not super fitted,
no.
so if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. You can see that it drapes lovely, so you don't. It's a great beginner's one because it's not fiddly. It's not a fiddly pattern, so I think it would be a really nice one to start with, definitely. So you've got your pattern. You've quickly gone over what all these lines and bits and bobs mean. So the last thing is the notches. So you can see you've got your little triangle bits here and here, and you've got some circle bits up there. Make sure you transfer those over onto your pattern. And I did it my quick method by just making very small snips in the seam allowances. Okay, so that's how I transfer my notches very quickly. So those 2 lines just basically mean that's the side backs, okay?
Does it matter how you lay out are you best to lay out your fabric first and place it all.
So when you have your fabric, first thing you need to do is wash your fabric, and with any fabric, especially with dressmaking, not so much with quilts because you don't really wear your quilts, so if it shrinks it really doesn't matter. Whereas with your dressmaking fabrics, there will be a percentage of shrinkage in there potentially, and not only that, but the manufacturing starch and all that kind of stuff. So when you're dressmaking, you want to know how it actually drapes when you're wearing it. It's all well and good it being nice and stiff and it feels like it's sewing wonderfully when you get there, but as soon as you wash it, it'll start moving differently. So make sure you give it a quick, well, it doesn't have to be a massive cycle, just a quick cycle. And then obviously then you would need to lie them selvage to selvage. Now in the instructions, it gives you really clear, and this is what I love about this pattern, it's really quick to sew up, but it shows you how you need to lay your fabric out with the selvages together. Whereas this one, you can see that you have there's a slight difference on with the belt, for instance. You only need to cut once, but basically you're cutting everything on the fold. So basically you're popping your paper down, you're cutting around it, and you're getting both sides at the same time, depending on what pattern obviously you're using. So it even walks you through where you need to put your patterns.
That's what we like. Just before you move on, just a quick stock warning. The pattern 16 to 26, half the stock is now, it's in your basket, you need to check out. It is quite limited, it's brand new. If you want it, check out your basket. Over half the stock of the teal has gone. Over half the stock of the camel has gone.
Wow.
Navy selling very, very well.
Get it quickly.
Yes.
Get it quickly.
Yeah, if you are a new buyer, please check out your basket to guarantee your order.
Cool. I'm glad you went over that. So in all, it's about 8 steps to make this this jacket. So a really, really quick one to do. So we've cut out our fabric. The only thing that I would suggest you doing, especially if you're going for something like your solids, like your blue and your grey and your teal colours, when you place it on the fold, when you open it up, you'll find it difficult to find out what was the right and the wrong hand side. Now it doesn't matter, but once you've cut it out, you do need to remember which side. You just need to make a decision.
Could you do that with a mark or something?
So you can make that with a marker pen. I've completely misplaced mine, so I've just done mine with little pins.
Okay.
So I can see the pin head, so I know that I'm calling that the right side and the right side, whereas that's the wrong side. Now I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but you might be able to see. Can you see there is a very slight difference? So if you do get it wrong, you'll only see it when the light hits it. It'll look like it's got a bit of a shadow, okay? So when you cut out, just make a mark and then you're happy to go.
And how about if you're going for the stripe?
I can't remember what the back looks like, so it might be that you could get away with it, but again, I would just, rather than run the risk, just make a mark. So we'll make a decision that with the right sides together, that's going to be my right sides. Make those the right, so make sure you mark or chalk up the other side of the fabric.
But with the stripe, does it make it more difficult on knowing where to line up so that you get the stripe?
Oh, so if you're doing pattern matching, so what I would do as my little cheat method, especially when you've got this wonderful line going through the body there with your lengthen and shorten here line, I would actually on purpose line up a stripe with that line, because where you cut would be the same on the front and the back pieces, so that will give you that continuous line across the body. So my cheat method would be, when you get your fabric out on the table, line your pattern up with that line on all the pieces, and then that way you know that they're all going to match.
That's only the stripe and the spots. Okay, hi, love the show. Could you please tell me how much fabric we need for size 22 option, please?
Ooh, 22 option C. 22 option C. So you will need 2 meters, and that will give you a little bit left over as well.
There you go. So that's 4 units.
Yep.
4 units. There you go. Yeah,
wonderful. Okay then. So let's get cracking. So the first thing I'm doing is just going to take my pattern off. Now, with this one, you're going to be hemming the bottom. So what I'm actually going to do, even though I'm using the model 540, I'm going to use all the bits and bobs that come with that machine to do my my garments. So you don't necessarily need an overlocker to sew this. Obviously, you can use your overlocker, but there's certain bits that you might want to use with your machine. So rather than getting both the machines out, I'm going to try and do everything on this one machine, but there's nothing stopping you using the both. So the first thing you can probably see is that I've already gone ahead and done something with that one piece of fabric. So I'm going to repeat that now. So it's on that raw edge there. I'm going to do that the same on my other piece of fabric. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And in order to do that, I need to go into my kit and use my overcasting foot.
Right, okay.
Okay, so basically it's got 2 bars on it there, as well as this little little paintbrush, if you like. So you can see the 2 bars in there. And what that allows it to do, it'll make more sense when we start sewing, but it means that when you're doing your little overcast stitch, it keeps the zigzags from puckering and gathering up, which is what I really like about it. So I'm just going to quickly transfer that foot over.
So is that what you use just for this sort of hem?
So yeah, for your anything when you're kind of overcasting. So where your overlocker would cut and do the overcast, this is just doing that stitch. And it just makes the hems a little bit more tidier. Because rather than having, I mean, this has got a nice bit of body with it. The Ponte Roma's got a lovely body to it. But trying to do like a double hem would mean that would be really thick. So you could get away with doing a single hem if you finish off your edge, which is what I'm doing right now. So this is with the overcast stitch, which is number 12 on this machine. But as you can see, as I'm stitching, those 2 metal like prongs are stopping the zigzag from puckering up. Yeah. So it's making my material lie nice and flat.
And what's the little brush doing?
So the needle is passing through that brush. So because it's stitching literally on the raw edge of the fabric, you know, you'd be picking up lint and things like that. So the little brush is just stopping that from getting into the stitch. So it's giving you a really nice clean stitch on the edge of your fabric there. So I've done that for the 2 front pieces. You'd also need to do it for the back, but I'm going to skip that bit. So this is where we then need to start playing and putting our fabrics together.
Oh, just a quick note about 16 to 26. If everyone checks out, it's sold out. So if you've got it in your basket, please do check out.
Right, okay, so I'm going to take that off now because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to put it back to my normal stitch. So I'm putting my normal foot back on. Now, what's great about this machine is there's actually quite a few stitch options on there. So I've just I would always recommend doing this with the material that you're working with, because not all stitches are going to be right for the right fabric. So what I've done is I've gone through my machine to find out which of my options on my stitches are stretch stitches. So you can't use your number 1. So your number 1 is just your normal straight stitch on your machine, or 0, 0.
And why is that? Because it will...
Because if you pull that stitch, what will happen, because your material stretches, it will snap. There's no give in the stitch. So these are all specifically designed for stretch materials. So even though they look like a straight stitch, when I pull them, there is an element of give. So this one is actually a squashed zigzag. Then this one is actually almost like a back stitch with a jump. So they've all got different purposes, so depending on what I'm doing. So it's always worth doing a quick test strip to find out what it is that you want to do. So for instance, this triple one, it's a great looking stitch, but it's a very, very strong stitch. That would be too strong for the side seams, but that would be great for anything like crotches or your armholes.
Okay.
So I might save that one for later. All these ones are good for top stitching, things like that. So I'm just going to go with the normal straight stretch stitch. That is a mouthful, and that's number 5 on my machine. So I'm going to put that on. So is that
personal preference? That's up to you. It doesn't state that in.
It doesn't state that in the instructions, but with your machine, it's always worth just, especially when you're dealing with stretches, just to find out, you know, what's going to work best with this material. Okay. And then the other tip would be...
And it could change at what point.
What point. You might want to apply a different stitch. So, for instance, I've used the overcasting stitch on the edge there. You could just use your pinkers, for instance. You don't need to use your machine. But the one thing you do need to do is change your needle. Don't use your normal universal needle. Right. So you will need to either get a ballpoint or a jersey or a stretch needle for this project. Okay, so I've got the right sides facing up, and I know that because I can see my pin heads. So now I'm going to take the back of my fabric. So I know which one that is again because I've got a pin in there. So it's right sides together. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the shoulders together, which is these sections up here.
If you're after the 540, by the way, put the graphics through. There you go, £449. And it does have all of the different settings. It is a very sort of complex machine.
It's a really fantastic beginner's machine, I think. So as we've got a beginner sort of easy project, I thought we'd go with our starter machine, if you like. Not only because you can see really clearly what I'm doing, but also because it is just a great little machine to use. So I'm going to change my stitch to the 0.5 stitch, and I know that that's the right one for me because I've done my little test strip.
You got quite a big seam allowance there.
So it's a 1.5 seam allowance. So in dressmaking, that's a pretty standard seam allowance, whereas you're probably more used to the 1/4 inch with dressmaking. So the reason why it's not a 1/4 inch is because, you know, you might want to take that out, you might want to make some adjustments. So if you've only stitched a 1/4 inch, you've hardly got anything to play with. So just to reinforce that shoulder seam, I'm actually going to do a double line of stitching. So I'm just repeating the process now, but I am stitching about a 1/4 inch away from that original stitch line. And that's almost going to act like an overlock. That's going to prevent it from fraying, but also give stability in the shoulder. So that's that one done. And then for speed, I'm not going to do the other one.
But this is a project that you can actually do relatively quick, isn't it?
Super quick, yeah.
It's such a great skill to be able to have, isn't it? I know Jenniffer was saying, oh, you just used to get so frustrated going into shops.
Going in shops and not finding what you were looking for. You know when you have a picture in your mind about what it is that you want in the fabric that you want, and you just can't find it. And when you do find it and you try it on, it doesn't fit properly, it's too tight here, it's too loose there, or too short. With dressmaking, you can get it to fit to you every time. Okay, so that's our shoulder seams done. So now I know which is the right side because of the seams. I can take these pins out so I don't stab myself later. There we go.
Yeah, you can see it coming together straight away
all together. So the next thing I'm going to do is just do a quick stay stitch in the neckline. That's just going to help support us when we start putting that collar on, that gathered collar in the back. So before I do that, I'm just going to trim back my seam. So I haven't done it on this one, but on this one you can see that I've done a double line of stitching. Because I've done that, I can actually go and cut that and trim it right back. So that's going to give me a nice clean seam on the inside of my garment. And now I'm just going to go around with a quick stay stitch. So a stay stitch, it's not a construction, you're not going to add anything on, but what it's doing, it's just offering support to the garment. So I'm actually going to use just my normal straight stitch, which is the 0-1 function. And what that's going to do, not only because it's a stretch material, but also because you're cutting almost into the bias because of the neckline shape, it's just stopping that from stretching out of place.
We've got another question come through from Patricia. I've purchased the pattern in the teal fabric. Looks lovely, doesn't it? The teal's not sold out, so well done if you got that. Could you please tell me which needle size and type if using an overlocker? Does the same rule apply? Newton overlocker?
With the overlocker, whatever needle, normally the needles will go through mostly anything. You don't really need to change, or as far as I'm aware, you don't really need to change.
Okay.
Whereas with this one, I've gone with a 70, which is kind of sort of medium to lightweight. You could go to 80, but again, on testing, I was like, I don't need that needle to be that big, so I'm just using a 70 at the moment.
Thank you for your question, Patricia.
Thank you very much. Right, okay, so that's the stay stitch done. I just want to see if we're going to stitch.
And you've just stitched the seams open as well,
on that one side, yes,
just
but on the one side. But on the other side, I've sewn them down towards the back. Yeah, we are doing the side seams.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that's how I want it to finish. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, whereas that one's my quick standard dressmaking. That's absolutely fine. And again, with it being stretched, you find that it doesn't tend to fray anyway. Okay. But I've just done that for speed. So that's how I'd want it to look. Yeah. On the inside of the garment, that's how I want it to look. Unless you're going to use your overlocker as well.
How much material would I need for a size 12? That's from Janet in West Yorkshire. Love the dressmaker shows and presenters. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Grab me the packet and I'll find out for you.
Size 12, wasn't it 2? Which option? I'm presuming it's this one, Janet.
Size 12. 12, which is roughly around the medium. So again, it's 2 meters. For this option C, it's 2 meters.
So 4 units. 4 units, that's it. You don't actually need that much.
Again, you'll have a little bit left over there. Okay, so I'm just stitching down the side seams. So again, with the Ponte Roma, you don't want to, I mean, you can see that I'm not pinning, so I'm being a little bit naughty. But you don't want to be pulling or stretching this out of the way. So it's not like a cotton where you can really manhandle it. And any slight pull or tug from yourself will mean that you're overstretching the seam.
Okay, so you advise to pin them together?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just being naughty and not pinning. But when you're at home, like pin, whatever's more confident for you. But what you don't want to be doing is doing this and pulling it. You don't want to be pulling it through or trying to make it go quicker. Just allow it to sit and just allow the machine to take it through. So these stitches take a little bit longer because obviously what it's actually doing is a zigzag stitch, but it's kind of squashed.
Yeah. But it's fine to just take your time with it.
Take your time with it, absolutely. But we really do need that slight zigzag to allow the fabric to move around the body and stretch, because if you're going to use a normal straight stitch, like I say, if you were doing your quilting, for instance, it wouldn't move. So if I do that, you can see that it's moving with the fabric. It's not snapping, or you haven't got a hole in it anymore. Whereas if I just use my straight stitch, which I'll do on the other side to show you, it'll look fine, but over time that stitch will just break, and therefore you'll have holes in your garment. So I'm just going to stitch that one side up, but I am going to use a straight stitch just to show you the difference.
Okay, but go with the zigzag.
Definitely go with the zigzag, but I'm just going to show you what difference it would make. So you can see that it feels like you're sewing quicker. Oh, this is great, this is fine. So you know not to nick this one.
Yeah.
So I'm using the wrong stitch.
This is a good thing to. This is good that we do these demos though that you can watch back on YouTube, because these are all top tips that I wouldn't necessarily just go straight for that.
We just think, oh, I'll use my straight stitch. Let's go. Let's go with my straight stitch, because all I want to do is do a straight seam.
And unless you look at it really closely, you can't see it zigzag.
No, you can't see it zigzagging at all. So it doesn't make any difference on the seam per se. But if I just do this very quickly, so I've used a straight stitch. If we can maybe hear, it'll start to pop.
Yeah.
And the stitches will want to. There you go. Hear it?
Yeah.
So if you're, getting your coat on and you pull your seam, you'll let it pop. You'll end up with a hole in your jacket. So you can see here.
It's already.
There's the hole. So that's why you don't use a straight stitch.
There you go.
Okay, so make sure you use your proper stitches. That's what they're there for. So in this case, on this model, it's a 0.5 stitch, or any of the other examples. Right, so we've pretty much got a gilet already.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, but before we attach the sleeves and the collar, we'll go and have a quick run through. So as I say, the pattern has been very popular. How are we getting on with the pattern? Very, very limited. The teal's sold out. The pattern is very limited, so if it's in your basket, we can't actually guarantee it. There's more of you got it in your basket. So teal sold out on the fabric, the one that I'm wearing is sold out. We're very low on the camel. This is the one that Jenniffer is demoing with. It's $3.99 for half a metre. Speak to the customer service team about sizes. They'll be able to help you out. It is all on the website, so you can actually zoom into the back of the pattern to find out how much you're going to need. If everybody checks out of their basket, then it is sold out. So, in fact, we'll move it across. Some people, I think, are going to miss out on that. Let's go for the grey. Oh, a lot of people, I think, are going to go for this one as well. This is, I always tend to say, right, I'm going for a different colour. I'm going for a different colour when I'm out shopping. And then I'll always come back with the staple colour is always going to go with everything in your wardrobe. Half a metre is $3.99. So that's for the grey. And then the navy, loads in the basket for the grey. Navy, again, same price, just $3.99 for half a metre. If you are looking at a size 12, which is the one that I'm wearing, it isn't oversized, but it's a nice jacket that you can put over the top of things. Jenniffer was saying, in the summer, even in the summer when you're out having a barbecue or sitting in the garden and it gets a bit cooler, this is a lovely fabric and very soft. If everybody's got a metre in their basket and checks out, then we've sold out. That is another warning on the stock of this one. The spots and stripes. So this is maybe for somebody who has done dressmaking before, so then you're doing your pattern matching. If you want to, expand your skills and have a go at that pattern matching with Jenniffer's top tricks, then have a go with the spots or the stripes. That's $3.99 for half a metre. That's the black spot. Now, they're slightly different to the solid colours. They're 96% polyester and 4% spandex. So that's the black spot. They're still 150 wide and 399 half metre. You've got the white, navy on ivory. It's the other way around, it's a lot easier to say. 399 for half a metre. And you've also got the black and white stripes for just $3.99 for half a metre. Graphics are coming in, so there it is, half a metre for $3.99. Just very quick recap, if anybody is after the overlocker, if you are into dressmaking, we've managed to bring back yesterday's deal because yesterday's sold out, and I know that we had people missing out. So there you go, it's £269 with 4 free threads. It's still one post in packaging, even though you're buying a sewing machine. How great is that? Okay, so now we are attaching the next part.
Before we attach the collar, there's a step that you need to do, so don't get overexcited because this is, I want to say it's abnormal. You don't really finish your hem before doing a collar, but in this case you really do. So the first thing I've done is I've used my straight stitch on the machine, so that's your 0-1 setting, and I've gone with a really, really long stitch. You can see how much it's wiggling around because obviously it's stitching through what is a stretch material. But this is a temporary stitch that I'm going to take out in a minute. But what that stitch is there is just basically 2.5 centimetres away from the edge. That's giving me a guideline to fold and hem my fabric back. So that's going to give me a perfect hem, okay? So do that ahead of time, do it all the way around. And then I'm going to go to my machine, and again, going back to my little sampler, I want to have a nice top stitch. So in this case, I'm going to go for number 19 on my machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over once. So in the instructions, what it actually says is to do a double hem. So it looks like that. Yeah. Okay. Whereas because I've finished off my edges, I can get away with doing a single hem and giving me a less bulkier finish. So it's entirely up to you which way you do it. I have actually done a double hem on your top. So it's at the very bottom there. So you can see that I have done a double hem on there. Whereas I'm not doing it on this option, so I'm giving you both, okay? So I'm just going to stitch that down. So I'm folding my fabric where my stay stitching was, where I did that little temporary stitch.
And so what stitch did you say you're using, number 19?
So I'm using number 19, and I'm going to go, it was a 2.5 centimetre fold over, so I'm going to stitch at 2 centimetres on my fabric. So I'm using that seam gauge.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it, that you've got the seam gauge
on so I know that I will be catching my raw edges underneath. However, I'm going to, the more important thing, because this is a very visible top stitch, I know that it's going to look equal on both sides. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this so I can get to stick my my collar on, but you would obviously go all the way around on your garment at home.
Okay.
I'm going to give it one more. Brilliant.
So would you go right to, where do you say you would go right to?
So obviously you would go all the way around, from the front all the way around to the back to the other side. So you can see I've already gone ahead and stitched the other side. So let's pretend I've done the whole thing. Obviously this thread you want to get rid of. So you just need to find the bobbin thread and then just pull that out.
Oh, and it's as easy as that. You don't need to sit in and pick.
No. So you can see that's giving you a nice, really clean seam finish there. Okay, so that's that bit done. So now we can work on the collar. So that's a tip, because you go, oh, I can get my collar on now, I'm done, because I've done the side seams, I've done my shoulder seams, collar, but no, you need to do your hem first. So your collar is basically 2 strips of fabric. Okay, and you're going to need a little bit of ribbon or stay tape, seam tape, sorry, because what you're going to be doing is creating a gather. Okay. Okay.
So this is for the ruche.
This is for the ruche at the very back. So the first thing we're going to do is go back to our normal 0-1 function on my machine, which is our straight stitch, and we are going to increase our stitch length right up to what the machine will give me, which is a 0-5.
And this is why it's good to write them down, what your numbers are, what your settings are again,
what you're doing. So on the pattern, you can see that I've already gone ahead and cut those little pieces there. That's telling me that these two pieces need to be stitched together. Whereas on the very bottom of it, you can see there's nothing there at all. So it is this side that you need to be stitching, like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the gather stitch straight away. Now, it says in the pattern to do with them independently, but I found if you do it together, it just gave you a more...
yeah, they're both the same then.
Nice. They're kind of nestled in nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and do my straight stitch now.
We've got about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we should be fine. Okay, so we've got our gathering stitch. So this is where you need to get the bobbin thread, which is the bottom one. Now my tip for this would be change the bobbin thread completely so you can really see what it is you're doing. But I know that I've just done it so I can gather that up straight away. So there we have our ruching going on.
That's really effective, isn't it?
Okay, there's the ruche all happening there. So why have I got the tape? So what that tape's going to do is support that ruching and give that kind of look in the back of the neck, but it stops it again because we're using a straight stitch here. We don't want to lose that ruche if it gets pulled. So this is going to stop that from happening. This isn't stretch, it's woven, okay? So I'm going to go back in.
And you can literally just use any bit of ribbon
any bit of ribbon. I've got blue so you can see, but if you've got a cream or something like that, that might be a better colour to go for. So I'm going to pop that in first, and then I'm going to ruche up. So in the instructions, it does tell you what size ribbon to cut. I think it's 5 1/4, but don't quote me. Use the use the instructions. So I'm just going to gather this up now to the size of my ribbon.
Oh, yes, I've got ribbon in the trolley as well. So if you do want any ribbon, always handy to have. So we've got the navy blue, but we have also got the white. If you want the white like Jenniffer suggests, then there they are. £6.49 for the navy. You have 20 metres of ribbon, so I mean this is going to come in handy for lots of projects. The white. And in the instructions, it will tell you how much you need, but you don't need much.
I'm sure it's 5 1/4.
£6.49. There you go, 20 metres. 20 metres of ribbon.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm just finding my bobbin thread now just to pull that out. This is why it's really hard when you've done all your stitches, like which one's which?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It is worth changing the bobbin just to a random colour so you can't see, so you know very much, but you can see you've got your gathers there on both sides. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put the right sides together. So again, this is quite unusual because normally you'd think about putting the wrong sides together. And I'm just going to match along that collar. There are little points of reference that you need to be getting. So there's one there and one there. Thank you. So I'm just going to pin these in place first. But again, there's another step that you need to do before you start attaching this collar to the body of your garment. I'm just going to do those first.
How long have you been dressmaking for?
What year are we in? I made my wedding dress in 2011. That was the first thing I made.
Really?
Yeah, so it would be 7 years, I think.
That is very, very brave to say, right, the first thing I'm going to make is my wedding dress.
My wedding dress. Okay, so at the moment, we know this is the right sides because of our ruching, which you can see there, okay? So I'm going to follow down my collar to this side here. So you can see we've still got the right sides facing up. But what you're going to do is turn them onto each other. So the right sides are together now. So the wrong side is facing. So just to repeat that, because I think we might have missed it. So this is the right side.
Yeah.
So the wrong sides are facing each other at the moment, but we need to flip that to put the right sides together. And then what you're going to do is stitch in.
Only at the end, though?
Only at the end, only at the end.
Okay.
Okay. And again, I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So again, right sides together and stitch that down. Okay, now you've done that, now you can attach it to your garment. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip this like so. So that's giving you a really nice clean edge on the very base of that collar. Then you're going to take your garment and you're going to follow up the notches. So again, it's right sides together, and I know that because I can see that there's no seams here. Let's get this side.
Yeah, that is unusual that you're doing the right sides together again, isn't it? Normally it would be
the wrong sides. No, right sides together is fine. Wrong sides together, which this is a bit weird. So we're matching up our notches. That's one. So you can see what that's going to do, if I go back here, is that these two finished edges, so there's our double hem, for, our single hem from earlier, and there's our enclosed hem on our collar. They're matching up at the bottom, so they've already been finished beforehand, which is unusual. You would normally do all of that last, okay? Whereas in this pattern, it's just slightly different. So don't let that catch you out. Notch, and then the notch for the shoulder seams is there.
You could even do this, the collar part in a different fabric, couldn't you?
Oh, that'd be lovely. That's a really nice idea. That's really good.
You could do it in like a floral.
Look at you getting all inspired.
I am so what you do inspire me all the time.
Oh. No, this is what it's totally about. It's totally about actually, I could do that.
And that's what's good about these patterns is that you've got the basics, but then it's up to you.
Oh,
You're running wild
the world
with
is your
it.
oyster. Your world is totally your oyster. Okay.
Could even, now you know how to do the ruches, you could even do some ruches around the bottom of the sleeve.
Yeah, you could go to town with it, definitely. Okay, so all you're going to do now is stitch round the whole length of that collar. So obviously you could do this again on your overlocker, but for speed I'm going to do it with my sewing machine. Okay.
Again, are you best to pin these all together? We're just doing it for speed.
For speed, everyone knows me at home. I'm speed demons, but at home, obviously, take your time. It's not a race. However, unfortunately for here, it is a race. So take your time at home, pin, 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 and if in doubt, pin some more. But as long as your notches are, the most important part is getting those notches in the right place. Okay. So I'm coming up to the shoulder seam now.
Yeah, lots of new buyers today. Remember that offer, it's just launched, that you get 2 meters of free fabric.
I know, it's like a lucky dip.
It is, and the fabric's worth at least, I think it says £19.60. So I mean, it really is a great deal. Loads of people brand new today.
So I'm just coming around the top of the shoulder now. Sorry, the top of the neck. Coming round to the next shoulder seam.
Yeah, it looks lovely in that colour. That colour's now sold out. I'm not surprised.
Is that the teal or the camel?
Yeah, we're trendsetters today, aren't we? The camel and the teal are sold out.
Really? Oh, yeah. Wow.
So again, you're just using that guideline of your 2.5.
So just stick with your, it's 1.5 on there.
Sorry,
no,
1.5.
It's 2.5 earlier. Good memory though. Yeah, and again, just don't stretch the material, just let it go through at its own pace. I like to think of it, you need to squash the air out of it. So you probably notice my fingers are tapping all the time. It's just stopping that from moving. So basically, in short, we've got our gilet all pretty much done. Nice. So there's nothing stopping you,
as a gilet.
And just maybe binding those arms without having to put a sleeve in if you want. But depending on time, we could probably get a sleeve in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our
10 minutes.
Oh, we've got plenty of time then.
Do both sleeves.
We could probably do all right. She wants this jacket doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so again, same principle with your sleeves. Just make sure you've made a mark of what's right side and wrong side. So I've already gone ahead and done that. And you can see that I've already gone ahead and stitched in my seam allowance already. Now, what you might want to notice here on the pattern, it looks like there's something wrong, but it really isn't. You can see that it's slightly kicked out. I'll just bring that up for you. There's a little bit of a kink on the pattern.
Right, yeah.
So what that allows to do when you do your hem, it means that it will sit nicely, because obviously you can see, if I just bring that back out again, you can see that it's not a straight...
No, it's not.
It starts to grade out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you need to create a mirror image in order for it to sit properly. So if you carried on down and tried to fold that back, it would be over here somewhere. So important that you do have... The pattern gives a kink. Make sure you cut to the kink, all right? So what I would do with the edge of my seam here is do the same again. I get my overcasting foot out, I overcast that edge, then fold it back with a single hem, and then do a top stitch. So it's exactly the same process that we did at the very base.
Yeah, you just do one. You can do two if you want.
Yeah. You can do a double hem if you wanted to, or if you wanted to reduce bulk, then use your overcasting foot and just do a single line of stitching. All right, so I'm going to skip ahead of that, and I'm going to get the sleeve in.
Oh, Jenny, we've got some iron-on bias tape.
Oh, okay. So
could we use it?
Yes, you could. So you know where I did the stay stitching in the neckline before we put the collar on? That's a super quick way of giving that support in that neckline without having to get the machine out. So you just quickly iron that on. Okay. It's really, really good for any stretch. So the top, the t-shirt top that we did yesterday, or the sweat top almost.
You love that.
Oh, I love that top. And the material is just amazing. That would be perfect for that as well. So yeah, it's a really nice one to do. And again, it's a professional finish within your garments that you wouldn't think to put in there, but it makes them last loads longer. So it's worth putting in the basket.
We'll run the graphics through, so it's there available if you want it. It'll be on the website, $6.99. 5 meters of it as well. So you're going to be able to use it for lots of projects.
Lots of projects. Okay, so the trick is finding the notches and matching them up. So remember we talked about these at the very, very beginning of our show today. So we've got 2 there, we've got our underarm seam, and then we've got a single one there. Now that's basically indicating that this one is the front because it's single, and this one is the back because it's double. So if I just bring in an armhole right now, I bet you it's the right one as well.
Do you know which one is left and right? Is there?
Yeah, that's the point. So you're looking for the hole. So if I go this way, I'll show you what the difference is. So you want to put the right sides together. So turn one of them the right way. So in this case, I'm going to go with the sleeve. Put the sleeve in the right way. You want to match up that underseam, which I'm going to do first of all. So I'm just going to pop a pin in there first. Hold that in place for me. So as you're tracing around, there's the arm side.
Perfect.
Okay. As you're tracing around, I've got a single notch in there and a single notch in there. So I know straight away that this is the right sleeve. Yeah. It might sound really silly, but the sleeve heads are not the same in the front and the back. So it's not a perfect hill, as I like to call it. One's like a very high, imagine you're climbing on a slide. You have to go up the steps. And then the slope is quite long, and it's a really nice long slide. Yeah. So basically, what that means in translation, in my weird analogy, is what the steps basically is the front part. Okay. Because if you think about your arm, it moves forward, it moves to the side, it doesn't really move back so much. So it needs to cut into the front of the body. Whereas in the back, I don't know many people, unless you're like ambidextrous, can do lots of things in the back of their arm. So it doesn't need to have that kind of severe slope. Okay. So it does kind of go in a weird kind of slopey.
Because you would just presume that it's literally just
like that. It's not the same in the front and back. So that's why it's important that you put your sleeves on, otherwise your arms will look backwards.
Okay. We've got a nice message. Christy, been watching for a few months now, but made my first purchase today. Yay! Love the demos. Looking forward to my happy mail of Christy. Thank you for getting in touch with us, and definitely make the most of that offer. New customers that spend over £10. Get 2 meters of fabric for free. Okay. Love a freebie.
So the last thing we need to do is the sleeve head. Now, again, on the pattern, there's 3 parts of the detail. So you've got the top bit there, which will be for where the shoulder seams meet, and you've got 2 little notches there, but there aren't any on the arms. There will be on the arm sides, but basically that's for a gather stitch. I got confused. I had another pattern in my head that doesn't have them, and I need to do it on this one. So basically, I need to do a gathering stitch in that area to allow for the sleeve to to squeeze into the hole, basically.
Okay.
So in order to do that, again, you go back to your machine. So I'm just going to turn it off very quickly. Go back to your 0-1 stitch. So again, it's not good for garment construction in this case with your stretch material, but I do need it to get a gathered stitch. So to make it a gathered stitch, I just need to increase my stitch length again. So we're really working this machine today. We're using all of the feet, using all of the different stitch combinations to get our garment looking fabulous. So I'm just going to stitch around those 3 points. So that's the shoulder seam point there. And then finally down to that 3rd point, which is in the front of the arm, like so. Okay, so now I've done that, I can now go back to work. So we've got a little point of reference there, so I'm going to pop that pin first. So I'm not going to pull that gathering stitch yet. And I've got another notch there. So this is basically saying where,
just what we were
where
doing
the eases are needing to go. So that gathering stitch is actually called, in this case, it's called an ease stitch, because we are easing that sleeve head into that arm side.
So you still nestle them together before you pull it?
Yeah, I like to do it this way first, rather than trying to, once you gather it, it's hard to see the notches, whereas if you put the notches in first, then do the pull. Just need to make sure I'm pulling the right one. So what you're wanting to do is get, you can see on that one more clearly actually, you can see how the arm, the body one, is this one, and that's the arm, that's the sleeve. You can see there's a lot more fabric in there than there is in here. Yeah. So by pulling my ease stitch, I'm giving it a couple of gathers. Now, it's not a ruche. Not a ruche, it's just an ease. So you can see that when I lie it flat, where the stitch line is, it's quite smooth. It's just this part that starts to thrill. That's what you're looking for. And another tip would be on where the garment is, actually have your hand underneath it. So you're acting like a shoulder. And then kind of gravity does the work for you. So once you've done that easing, then you can start sewing your sleeve on. So I'm going to go straight to my machine. I'm going to take my gubbins box out just to make it a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So you can just go all the way around.
So another one would be, I know we're doing stretch at the moment, but you're already on your ease or gathering or your temporary stitch. When you're doing your arm size, you know, unless you're a pro, you might not get it right first time. So what I would suggest doing is leaving it on that 0-1 straight stitch setting, which isn't good for stretch permanent stitches. Leave it on there, go around the arm, and then check that you've not got any puckers or tucks. Because if you have, you can get it out quickly easier. Or just unpick that area and correct it, and then go in with your stitch.
And would you go in with the zigzag one then?
So what I would, but then you could go in with the, what would be the 0-5, which is what we've used on the pretty much most of the project, apart from the top stitching. So remember our samples here, if I just bring that round again. We talked about the triple strong one, which is number 18. That one was great for arm size and crotches. So I would probably, when you're happy with your sleeve and there's no puckering and it's looking fab, then go in with your number 18. But I'm going to go in for speed because it literally goes backwards and forwards quite a lot. So it's quite running out of time.
3 minutes.
So if I go in with my temporary stitch, just to show you what the sleeve looks like when we stitch it all together. Not concentrating then. I don't normally like to sew over my pins. So again, it's almost like you're pressing the air out. I know it sounds very silly, but I'm constantly feeling my way and making sure that I've got no puckers or tucks as I go.
I can't believe how quick this is. You would think to make a jacket, it would take hours and hours and hours. And
an all-day project. I think they're probably, the cutting out probably takes the longest.
Another message. Hi Vicky, we are so lucky. We are so lucky with Sew & Quarter. Great presenters and superb experts. Jennifer, your demo is brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
You do make it so clear. Thank you, Anne in Cheshire.
Thank you.
Another message. Hello, Marilyn. Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Made that mistake with my first coat. I put the arms in back to front.
So easily done.
Thank you for your excellent tips. That's Marilyn.
Welcome.
Yeah, did they look like backwards? You don't realise, do you?
No, and this is the thing, it's just, somebody who's not looking, they probably wouldn't tell, but you'd feel the difference.
Yeah.
You'd totally feel the difference. It just wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't sit right. So again, those notches aren't there. They're not hieroglyphics. They're not there to make things complicated for you. They really are there to help you. So make sure you transfer them over. We are done. Woo. So if I pull that out now, because I've got...
Oh, yeah, that gather's really made the difference.
So it gives you a really nice, clean, smooth arm. So now I've checked my sleeve head. It's looking good. There's no puckers in there. Then I can go back in again and with my triple strong one, which is number 18 on this machine. I know that's going to give me a really nice clean seam, and you're good to go.
Thank you so much.
See you later.
Now you are back with a brand new technique, aren't you?
I'm excited about it.
Brand new
Very
technique.
excited.
So we'll see you in about an hour, right? Thank you very much, Jenniffer. Now, I know that we're slightly more empty over here. The pattern is now sold out. The teal and the camel has sold out. If you want the grey, it's $3.99 for half a metre. $3.99 for half a metre for the grey. So if you do want the plain, this is now the final option. It's been very, very popular this hour. Thank you for all of your lovely messages. So many of you have got them in the, got this particular one in your baskets as well. So please do be careful. We've got the stripes and the spots. The spots first, the black and white. Same price, just slightly different composition. $3.99 for half a metre. Black and white stripes. So the only difference is you've got to be a bit more careful with you've got a pattern match really. You've got to make sure you get it lined up so you have stripes running all nicely way around. $3.99 for half a metre. And ivory and navy, this is lovely, very, very summery, isn't it? And it's just so soft. It's lovely quality fabric. So soft. Yeah, it's going to look really, really nice in a jacket. Very summery. $3.99. That'll look lovely on your yacht in the summer, if you're our Paul. Okay, don't forget, we do also have our offer back today. Yesterday, it sold out, completely sold out, because still the same price at £269, but we're also throwing in four, why can't I say this? 4 free black threads. That is such a tongue twister. If you've got it in your basket, please check out. You'll still only pay £1 postage and packaging all day long. No extra postage and packaging for the Overlocker. We are limited on stock. As I said yesterday, the allowance we had sold out completely, and there were people that were missing it. So there it is. Thank you so much for all of your lovely messages. Keep watching though, because it's Vicky's Quilt Shop coming up in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com. Sewing Quarter are excited to announce that we are supporting World Craft Week. Starting on the 16th of April, World Craft Week is all about celebrating our love of crafting. This year, sew along during the week-long campaign and show your support for a great cause, Bliss, a charity that supports premature and sick babies. If you visit www.worldcraftweek.com, you will be able to get your hands on a free copy of the World Craft Week Digimag. The magazine is packed with 23 beautiful baby projects and patterns to inspire you to get sewing during World Craft Week. Visit www.worldcraftweek.com for more information and get crafting during World Craft Week on the 16th to the 27th of April.
On Thursday the 12th of April, we're joined by master quilter Lucy Brennan in the studio. Lucy will be making an All-Stars mini quilt which was designed by Nicola Calver and was first seen in Love Patchwork and Quilting magazine. This brightly coloured mini quilt combines 3 classic techniques of flying geese, half square triangles and economy units to create a striking finish. Lucy will be showing us how to master this lovely quilt, which is available in 3 colourways of pinks, purples and greens. So tune in to make a mini quilt that will create a big impact. Join us on Thursday the 12th of April at 8 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. Tune in on Saturday the 14th of April when we're joined by Nicola Dodd. Nicola will be making a beautiful William Morris Merton quilt made from new William Morris fabric. This stunning quilt is made from pattern fabric in muted earthy shades. With hidden log cabin blocks and striking contrasting fabrics, this homely quilt will be the star of any room. Nicola will be here to share her quilting tips and advice to get the perfect finished quilt. So don't miss your chance to get your hands on the new William Morris Merton quilt. Join us on Saturday the 14th of April at 11 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Aren't I lucky having a quilt shop named after me? No, that's how it is named, Vicky's Quilt Shop. And we've got so many lovely quilt projects, lots of fabric and lots of inspiring quilts to offer you. We've got lots of finished quilts, and I can tell you as well when they're all demoed. So, you know, when you watch a specific show, normally when we do quilting specials, it's just based on one quilt. We've got so many to show you today and talk you through when the demonstrations were as well. First of all, please can I just talk about the Overlocker? It is a deal that has been extended to today. I cannot guarantee that we can offer this deal again after today's show. So if you do want the Overlocker that was on yesterday's show, we've managed to allocate more stock and still offer free thread as well. So if you want that, same offer applies at £269. It's all on the website, it's all there. Okay, first thing that we're starting with is Annamarie. Annamarie Horner is a lovely, lovely lady. There she is. And she was here in the studio on set, and everybody absolutely fell head over heels in love with her. Not only have we loved her fabrics and her colour choices, but she's also, it helps, doesn't it, when she's a lovely, 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 lovely person. And she really, really is. So this quilt, well, the whole kit is very, very limited. The kit is everything that you are going to need to make a big 72-inch by 90-inch finished quilt. We've got how many? 3. We have only got 3. Now, that's what you can make. The reason that I am warning you that it is so limited is because it is now also at a reduced price. This was £250. We've taken an extra £50 off today, so it's £199.99. That's everything you're getting in the kit. You get all of the instructions, you get all of the printed fabrics, 4 woven fabrics, that's 4 printed fabrics, almost 12 yards of binding, and you get how many plastic templates? 14 plastic templates? Did you say 14 plastic templates? 14. Reusable plastic templates. It's a lovely kit. It comes in a beautiful box. I didn't want to take it out because I just think it looks so nice as it is in the box. So there you go. The kit includes 4 printed fabrics, 100% cotton from Free Spirit. It is absolutely lovely. Look at the colours used, but this is to make this quilt. It's got the instructions, but also you can do what you want. You can adapt it and make it to your own personal preference. We only have 3. 1 has already been added to the basket. You have to check out to make sure that you would definitely secure one of the only 3 that we have left. There she is. Oh, she's so lovely. She's absolutely lovely. having a look at the fabrics. They're beautiful, aren't they? Just having a look and choosing what colours to go where. But she's so, so lovely. She's got 7 children, you know. 7 children. She looks ever so young, doesn't she? 7 children. Just £199, which I keep stressing, but is brilliant to say that you're getting that amount of designer fabric. But it's been reduced. It's £50 lower than it was here. It's not a price point that was elsewhere. It was £249 here. So it's £199.99. One final look at the what you're getting. Full with it, really nice comprehensive instructions as well. So you can go on and have a look online as well. She's very good at keeping up to date with all of her blogs and Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube tutorials as well. So you can have a look. In fact, we've got the finished quilt here in the studio. I can show it to you. There we go. Thank you very much. Oh, it is a big quilt. Finished quilt, it is big, but it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at the colours. All with that Annamarie Horner fabric. It's 72 by 90 inches finished, but even if you want to do just a section of it, then you can make it smaller, but it is lovely as a big quilt. Oh, that has been quilted beautifully, hasn't it? There it is. That is what you will be able to achieve. You will be able to achieve it with that kit. This isn't something that is, a quick make. This is something that is going to be a big project. Right, I'm going to keep that over here. Now, so as I said, we've got loads of quilts. Loads and loads of quilts to offer you as well. If you're being savvy, if you've already seen this one behind me, this one's been on the wall all morning long, and it is absolutely beautiful. A rainbow of colours, quilted beautifully. So this one is it is called the Rainbow Quilt Kit. We have 2 options, 2 different options. So the first option is this one. Here it is with the white background. So you get, in total, 9 meters of absolutely beautiful fabric. And I mean absolute rainbow fabric. So are these all ½ meters? Yeah, they are. So they're all ½ meters. Chris is telling me. And I trust him. Oh yeah, it is. ½ meter of aqua, ½ meter of bright red. That's right at the bottom. You have, you get 4 meters of the white, which is for the background, and all of the bright colours are all ½ meter. And that's $62.99. The instructions that we offer are, again, so comprehensive. They're beautiful. These are Susan's, actually. It has the layout, your layout diagram, exactly how to achieve each block. But again, you can play about with it. If you want to achieve the same one that we've got up on the back, then there it is in your step-by-step, exactly what you're going to need, all in this lovely instruction set. So you can keep hold of this as well, and it's on that nice glossy paper, so it's going to last. Because this is a project that's going to take you time. It isn't something that you're going to do, on an afternoon or over a weekend. This is something that's going to take you time. But to say that you've got all of the colours all ready to go, and they are lovely colours as well. They're 100% cotton, and they are so vivid. They're perfect for that rainbow quilt. So we also have the option available with the navy blue background. So there you go. You get 4 meters of the navy blue, 4 meters of your navy blue. It's going to give you a completely different look, completely, but yet they're still all going to stand out so well next to the navy blue. So once you're putting the really vibrant yellows, vibrant pinks, vibrant reds on the top, they're going to look lovely. $62.99 for 9 meters of fabric with your instructions as well. and that is the rainbow quilt. If you do want to look back at this, if you want to watch the demo of how to do this and how to create this rainbow quilt, if you go onto YouTube, if you type in sewing quarter and the 11th of March, then it will come up. Who was it that demoed this one? We'll find out. We'll find out who demoed it, but it is absolutely lovely. And there you go, you've got that full picture on the back. Your Technicolor triangles. If it's in your basket, please do check out $62.99. It's been a very, very popular one since we actually demoed this earlier on in March. I say earlier on in March, we're in April now, aren't we already? Actually in April, I do not know where this year is going. Should we stick with the rainbow theme and go airborne? Where's our airborne quilt, Chris? At the bottom. Here it is. Let me show you through the centre. Oh, I love this. Lucy Brennan, she's here tomorrow. I love Lucy. We all love Lucy. She made this, and look at that. That is so gorgeous. I'd have that as wall hanging. 5th of March. 5th of March, this one was aired. If you have a look at YouTube, you can see the tutorial exactly how to make this. It was aired on the 5th of March. And if you've watched Lucy's demos, oh, you know how much we love her. She's brilliant and she does such clear, lovely demonstrations. Look at the, oh, that's so nice. That is really, really nice. Okay, so with the airborne, oh, you get thread with this one as well. So you have, well, you get thread to start you off. You might need a bit more than one reel of thread to go, but you do have a lot going on here. So you have your spot. You've got blue, the deeper blue, the turquoise, the green, the yellow, the orange, pink, red, purple, and how much white do you have? 2 meters of white. 2 meters of white. Half a meter. Half a meter of purple, half a meter of red, half a meter of pink, half a meter of orange, half a meter of yellow, of green, blue, your darker blue, and spot on. Yes. This is the baby quilt as well. So the finished size of this is, it will tell me here, won't it? This is Sarah Ashford's. Does it say on here the finished size? No. We'll find out. So these instructions are different to the last one. In fact, these are very, very comprehensive. It tells you on the first page how to cut out your fabric so that you are going to make the most of all of your pieces, so that you cut them out to make sure that you get the most out of your fabrics. You then have how to place them and top tips from Sarah Ashford. You then get the templates as well. You get the templates in this as well. Yeah, this is one of the most popular quilts. This is one of the most popular quilts. It is. You're trying to tell me what the finished quilt is. No, do we know what size it is? There it is. Doesn't it say at the bottom there? No, that's the travelling bloom one. Okay, it's the, I know, I'm just trying to find out for everybody. Finished size, there it is, 36 inches by 40 inches. We got there in the end, 36 inches by 40 inches. So, just one final look. This is the one that you saw Lucy Brennan demo on the, no, I think it was the 5th of March. 5th of March, that airborne quilt. I've seen this hanging up a few times actually. We've used this as the background, as the backdrop. We love this. We absolutely love it. It's really beautiful. And I love the fact that it's smaller as well. This is going to take you not as long. It's quite simple shape. So once you've managed to do that once, I think this is going to be a bit faster to put together than some of the others. And they just look lovely, don't they? Really, really lovely. $49.99, there you go. Okay. Which one's this? We've got two wonky stars. So we've got two different colour options, two different fabric options. There's only two of these, there's only two. Does it surprise us when we name Tula pink? So you have, it's another one of Lucy Brennan's wonky star block with easy to follow steps. She did this also on the 6th of, no, she did the airborne on the 5th. On the 6th of March, she did this one. So there it is, you've got your step-by-step instructions, which are written by our Lucy. In fact, I remember this one really, really well. But it looks beautiful in the Tula fabric, which we have here. There's only two, there is only two. So if you do want to do this exact colourway that Lucy had made, it looks so beautiful, doesn't it, with that honeybee. That's what's so great about Tula fabric, is just accenting and fussy cutting to get these lovely, lovely finished details into your quilt. So in the kit, you're getting 5 meters in fabric in total, 1.5 meters of claret, 1.5 meters of white, and you're getting 0.5 meter of your Tula pink, 0.5 meter of Tula bees. That's lovely, isn't it? You also have 0.5 meter of bright orange. This is also Tula. Tula, the striped one's lovely. But I warn you, I'm so, so sorry, there are only 2. I don't know what's happening to my work. There we go, sorry. Right. So again, it's the same pattern, but will look completely different in this colourway. So this time, we are looking at 5 meters of fabric, featuring dashwood. This is really nice, dashwood fabric. You've also got ochre, am I right? Ochre. You also have aqua. You have 0.5 meter of fuchsia. You have 1.5 meters of antique white and 1.5 meters of navy. And that's £40.99. And that will look, again, completely different, but they work really well together because this has got that ochre. It's also got all of the sort of shades that you're looking at here, that lovely aqua tone as well. And the instructions, again, written by our Lucy, step by step, very simple instructions. Okay, so if you need any help on that one, that is the 6th of March. £40.99. Okay, so that's the fabric plus the instructions. Our next quilt. Sail away, sail away, sail away. At the front. Okay, I'm going to have to come round here, I think. We've got, do you want me to bring it across? I'll put it over here. So this is the final quilt. This is what it looks like, the final quilt. £119.99. It is a big quilt which has a lot of fabric. You get 2 design rolls. 2 design rolls, the instructions, your background, and I can show you the finished one, which we've, again, seen. It's a big, big quilt, this one. This is, I think, the largest that we've done. So you get 2 Joel Dubry design rolls, and it is a big quilt. Really big quilt, but it's got a really effective pattern, hasn't it? That works really, really well. This is your sail away quilt. You get 2.5 meters for your background of the white. Yeah, that'll keep you warm, nice snuggled up on the sofa. They're too nice though. I always think, oh, but they're too good They are too good. So this was the 31st of January that we did this. So you get the 2.5 meters for your background. You then, how nice is this? And I love the fact that they come so beautifully wrapped up. Your Joel Dewberry design rolls. Which one is this? It's the same ones that we saw earlier on as well, isn't it? I do absolutely love this range. Some beautiful colours. It's exactly the one that you've seen on that finished quilt. This was with Victoria Peat. It was on, what date was it? 31st of January. On the 31st of January, you can see that actual quilt being demoed, so you can see everything. It's 74 inches by 78 inches finished. So it's up to you again if you want to do a full finished quilt. If you want to do a large quilt like that, that's probably one of the biggest that we have. But once again, you have these step-by-step instructions. You also have 2 threads in this bundle, 2 threads to get you going, and your step-by-step instructions, which are so clear. Our sewing quarter instructions are brilliant, aren't they? This is by Lynn Goldsworthy. So there you go. You do get. We know Lynn, don't we? We've seen her for the farmhouse quilt. The farmhouse quilt was so popular. This is another one of hers, and it has those step-by-step instructions. But Victoria Peat demoed this on the 31st of January. £119 and 99 pence. Pop it in your basket and let us know how you get on. But it does look lovely. Really, really nice. So that's your sail away. Lovely for by the seaside. Okay. A quick email. I keep moving this all around because our table is so full today. Hello, Helen. Helen sent us a picture. Oh, yes, Helen. Thanks, Sewing Quarter, for presenting such great ideas all the time. I loved making this quilt for a new baby. Oh, new baby in our family. It was my first time foundation paper piecing, and it is very addictive. Thanks for inspiring the nation of crafters. Kind regards, Helen. Helen, that is so good. And I love the fact, I mean, you don't need to do all 12 of them, do you? You can just do it as Helen has there. You could even just do it as one on a cushion cover or something, couldn't you? But once you've got the knack of how to do the foundation paper piecing, as Helen said, it gets addictive. If you've tried English paper piecing, it's different to these. It's learning to get your head around sewing with paper, sewing through the paper. But once you've got the knack, it really, really just adds that perfect precision. So you get such a professional finish. Actually, very, very easily, as Lucy Brennan will show you on the demo. So there it is. There's the whole kit for $49.99. That's a lovely one for a children's bedroom, isn't it? And then to say, yes, you know how to do that pattern, to do cushions or accessories. You can put it onto a bag. It will look really nice. It doesn't just stop at quilting, does it? It doesn't just stop at quilting. And they are really, really nice, comprehensive instructions with that one. So thank you for getting in touch with us, Helen. Yes, send in all your pictures of the quilts. If you have done any of these, then we want to know. If you want to get in touch with us today, there's the email address, and that's the one that you send the photographs to as well. It's studio@sewingquarter.com. Studio@sewingquarter.com. Send all of your pictures in. Another Lucy project is the wordplay. The wordplay sunrise kit. This one really is lovely. Again, for, I think, a children's bedroom or a workroom. We've got a block as well. I will find that in a second. $29.99. So this is a really nice one, nice project to get going with. Lucy did this on the 14th of March. Here's one before it's been quilted. Yeah, this is so fun, isn't it? This is really, really fun. I love that colour combination. They work really, really well together. So that's one of the blocks. So once you've done that, that's a big block as well, isn't it? So once you've done that, but it's very simple. I can see the half square triangles and a lot of quite simple blocks. So it's one that looks very, very effective, and you're using skills that you probably already know as quilters if you're starting out quilting. There's some of the, well, they're the blocks that I've learned recently. So there you go. That's probably a nice simple one. And with this sunrise quilt, let's have a look in the instructions. Again, you have, it'd be nice to just one big block, wouldn't it? Quilted. But it has your step-by-step instructions. And the demo, of course, will always be there on YouTube. So all of these have already been demoed on Sewing Quarter, having a bit of a recap of some of the most popular quilts that you've loved. And that one is great. For $29.99, it really gets you started. And it means that that will be enough to create, well, you'll have more than enough fabric to create that block that you've seen. The Tula Pink one, of course, is already sold out. If you did want the wonky star, we still have it in Dashwood, but this one has now gone. I will remove that. In fact, let's put this to the side because this one's now sold out. The Dashwood, though, here it is the final option of the wonky star. And it's really, 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 really well put together because you've got the ochre colours in there, you've got the pinks, you've got the aqua blues, and it looks beautiful. Again, with your instructions for £40.99. Comes with ochre, aqua, fuchsia, antique white, and the navy for £40.99. Limited, that one is. If you did like the World Play quilt, the Sunrise, we have it in, oh, and you get thread with that one as well. You do get the back thread. Okay, I'm just going to show this very, very quickly because there is one. It is the first person to put this in their basket. And of course, Gray is the first person to check out of their basket, I should say. Even if you're putting it in, it doesn't mean that you've secured it until you check out. I've got a feeling this is going to be very, very popular because Gray's very, very in, isn't it? I think my whole house is grey. And I keep saying, yeah, my old one was, and now my new flat is all grey as well. And John Scott came round, he was like, right, you need some colour in here. You need some colour. Because everything I pick out is all grey. But I love it. It just goes with everything. It's very neutral. It's very contemporary. It looks very clean and very classy, I think. So, yes, I love this combination because you have half a metre of, which one's the leaf? There we go, probably the one with the leaves. Half a metre of the leaf, half a metre of your linear, half a metre of your ivory, half a metre of spot on, and this one is, what's this one called? Oh, this was, I think so. Is this squares in slate? Squares in slate, $32.99. In total, you got 3 metre. So you get you get a metre of the ivory. Remember, you get a metre of the ivory, and you have your thread with the instructions as well. And we'll have a quick flick through because these again, step-by-step instructions, telling you how to create each block. Have we got this one in the, so it's this one again. Look how different that looks. How different will this look in the greys? And as I said, this is such a simple blocks. Yeah, I'd go for the grey. Only because I know it's going to go in my house better in the grey, but that's going to look lovely, $32.99. We only have one available in the grey, so if you do want that, pop that in your basket, check it out, and that will probably be the last time that you see that combination. Do make the most of it, and it comes with the instructions as well for $32.99. It's lovely, lovely, lovely. Get more pictures in, we want to see more pictures. This one. Okay, so somebody's asked when this was demoed. This quilt behind me was demoed on the 15th. My memory's so bad, sorry. 15th of February. Paul did just tell me about 30 seconds before then. 15th of February. This was with our Lucy. So you know the demo is going to be brilliant. And again, it is, if you break it down, simple squares. It is very, very simple. The squares that are being used in this quilt our squares that we all know how to do. It will tell you exactly how to cut it out, exactly what you're going to need. The finished quilt is 60 inches by 80 inches. It's got you notes. It will tell you the seam allowance. It will tell you when to do your right sides together, your half square triangles, how to cut each colour fabric even. So we have offered you each of the colours used in this exact quilt that's on the up on the wall here. But in the instructions, it will tell you, so if you see here, it will tell you how to cut. You need 8 5-inch squares, 2 4.5-inch squares, 1 2.5-inch square, or 1.5-inch strips, sorry, I should say, for the binding. And then it will tell you, right, from the blue fabric, cut 8 5-inch squares. And it's really, really clear, step by step, on how to cut your fabric, how to place it, and how to do it. This is by Susan. A lot of people actually adding that to their basket. It is very popular. Please do remember to check it out. And each square then as well, it'll have the layout diagram. So if I were you, I'd probably lay it out block by block. So then you know if you want to do it smaller, then you can just pick out a few of the blocks, but it's going to look lovely, isn't it? A true rainbow. $62.99, and that is the rainbow quilt, which was made with Lucy Brennan on the 15th of February. You can watch that back and watch the whole demo back, which is absolutely lovely. Okay. It comes also with the background. It also comes with the background. So you've got the two options, whether you want it in the white or whether you want it in the navy. We'll do the navy. We'll put the navy graphics in. If you want it in the navy, then there you go. Navy is more limited. It's going to be a completely different look to this one, isn't it, in the navy? But it's still really going to stand out. The colours are going to be really, really bright. That's just $62.99 for, how much navy do you get in this? 4 metres. 4 metres of navy for the background. And then ½ a metre of all of your colours. The blue, the turquoise, aqua, green, yellow. 5 people have got this in their basket. Please do check this out. I know if you want the navy, it's very, very, very limited, so don't miss that one. And it is such a beautiful quilt. It's going to look amazing. I want to see your pictures, even if it's step by step, because I understand quilting isn't something that you do every day. My teacher came to me with this lovely quilt that she'd done. And I said, oh, how long have you been doing this? And she said, 4 years. She's been doing it for 4 years, so... Well, she said, you put it to bed. She said, I've never met a quilter that's just doing one quilt at a time. But, I mean, these are beautiful colours, aren't they, anyway, for different projects. OK. Should we do Devon County? I haven't got a demo of this one, but, oh, we love Devon County fabric. I just think this is so classy. It's so beautiful. And... This was with me, the log cabin variations. I absolutely love this book because this instruction, do you get this with it? This isn't the instructions, you get a book. So in this book you actually have 9 different log cabin variations. And they look so different. Lucy Brennan loves log cabins, and if you've got one of the log cabin rulers, you'll know that you can do so many different patterns. Let me show you just a bit of a flick through this book, because let me have a quick look myself so I can see. You can make so much, whether it be table runners. I mean, look at that, that's log cabin. You traditionally think of log cabins, obviously, with your, is it red and yellow? I can't think which, I think it's red and yellow, the heart of the home and the fire of the home. Oh, someone's going to, please email in and correct me because I can't remember what it is. But that was from John Scott. But this was the one that we did with Lucy. This was the one. So if you do want to learn how to do the butterfly, this one in the middle with the log cabin, then Lucy's done a demo with me on that one. Were you here, Paul? It's going to look completely different how you place your blocks. And in Devon County, let's just have a look at the fabrics, because Devon County, this is beautiful, beautiful fabric. You get a lot of fabric. You have 9.5 meters in total, and the fabrics are absolutely beautiful. A meter of Donald, a meter of William. You get 2.5 meters of this one, the Blue Robin. This one's called Margaret. You have 1.5 meters of Margaret. And then 3.5 meters of cream. So, I mean, you do have a lot of fabric here. And you get the book with 9 log cabin variations. I know that Lucy was saying how great this book is. It will tell you what materials, what you need, how to cut them. It will tell you all the different variations. And it will also have in here, it'll also have, what am I looking for? It literally shows you step by step of how to lay out your blocks to create completely different looks. So that's for this one. Imagine this in Devon County, how beautiful this quilt's going to look. Really effective, isn't it? Log cabin's one of the most popular. Log cabin is one of the most popular blocks in quilting. It's probably one of the first ones you'll learn. Hi, Vicky. Now that I'm addicted to sewn quarter, this is Christina, by the way, in Wiltshire. Flew to Malta on the 6th and have placed orders on the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Amazing, and you're on your holidays. Are you watching from Malta? Parcel heaven awaits. Oh, how amazing. You've got loads to get on with them when you get back. Thank you very, very much. Send us lovely sunny pictures because it's miserable today here in the UK. Now, this Devon County bundle. Oh, yeah, this one on the front of the... there it is. So, Lucy made it in Tula. No, it wasn't Tula. Amy Butler, isn't it? That's Amy Butler, the peacock one. But it is great. That's an option of what you can do with this pattern, and it will show you how to do it in this book. £138.99. What day did Lucy do that, did you say? The 19th of Feb. On the 19th of Feb, you can watch the demo on how to do the butterfly one. And it does look lovely with the log cabins. There it is. So, and you get the thread with that as well. Now, let's go and have a look at the Annamarie quilt kit, because this was extremely limited when we started the show. We've got three, that's it. There's only 3 of these. We have got a couple of people who've got it in their basket you need to check out. There's 3 left to be checked out. And it's a beautiful quilt, isn't it? Annamarie teamed up with Free Spirit to bring you the ultimate quilt kit. I love these strips. It does look so contemporary and so beautiful. And quite often, yes, you think of the log cabins and you think of the different blocks. But here with Annamarie's design, you've got this lovely, really elongated look. We have got the finished quilt here. But all of the fabrics that you're going to need are in this lovely kit. We have done a big reduction today. This was £250 here at the Sewn Quarter today. It's just £199.99. And in that, you get 4 printed fabrics, you get 4 woven fabrics, you get 12 total yards. I'm not sure what that is in meters, but you have that including binding, complete instructions, and 7 7-piece reusable heat-resistant plastic templates. So there you go. All you need to add to that is your backing fabric. Yeah, all you need to add is your backing fabric. Finished quilt, I can show you. It is big. There she is. Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? She was here. She was on the show. I mean, how good's that? Great connections. So this is the finished quilt, and it is 72 inches by 90 inches. So this is a big quilt. Have a look around it. I mean, look at the fabrics used. They are beautiful. Very feminine, very beautiful, but very dramatic. Those vibrant colours. This was demoed on the 7th of February. It was our Lucy Brennan as well, so you know how Lucy's fab, isn't she? We love Lucy, and I know you love her too. So if you want some really, really clear instructions, she's great at breaking it down, and every time I watch Lucy's demos, I always go home thinking, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. So yes, she does make it very, very simple and very achievable for all of us. So that lovely, lovely quilt, all of this, £199. Ah, somebody's asked about this on the wall. You've probably seen this actually. You've probably seen this when we've done our storage or workroom sort of hours. You've probably seen it on the desk like this. Did you know that you can hang them on the wall as well? They look great, don't they, on the wall? But this holds 120 spools of cotton, and it is absolutely lovely, really, really well made, wooden. But I suppose the great thing about having this neutral wooden sort of tone is you could also paint it, couldn't you? You could have it to match your workroom, but it looks really smart and looks really nice. But this is the larger of the two that we stock. The other one holds 60, so this is the big one that holds 120. There's something about just being nice and organised and having them all laid out, ready to go, instead of scrambling through a basket of threads, to have them all nicely laid out in colour order, preferably. Spend a nice Sunday afternoon just ordering all your threads, all nice, all together. And then it's very simple. If you have a look at the back, it just, well, I'll just say Paul hung it on the wall this morning. So come on. I mean, it can't be hard. If Paul can do it. I mean, Paul is the guy who everything keeps breaking in his house and he can't fix it, can he? There you go. And just slots on. And it looks lovely. It's a really nice, it is really smart, isn't it? A nice feature for your workroom, especially when you've got all of the bright coloured threads on there as well. It's going to be a really nice feature. Don't forget about that. That was there, £199. Okay. Now, if you are making a quilt, if you are at the point now, you need the batting, we've got options. We've got loads. In fact, let's go for this one. So this is your king size batting. This is warm white batting, and it's $42.99. So it's king size. It's 3 metres by 3 metres 15. So that's 120 inches by 124 inches. And it's a really nice, good size. The next one is the wool. Let's go for the king size wool. This is premium. This is premium. If you've used this wadding before, then you're probably never going to look back. This is the wool batting. It's another big king size, the size on the front. It is more expensive. It is a bit more considered, but honestly, as I said, if you've used it once, you are going to not look back. It's 100% washable wool, so you don't need to worry. It is 100% wool. It's resistant to mildew and moth damage, and it's premium. If you're machine quilting or hand quilting, then that's great for both options. $79.99, and it gives really nice warmth without it being heavy, which is great. So that's your wool batting, $79.99. We have this one. Which one's this? Warm and natural. Cotton batting this time. This is your cotton. Another king size, another big one. It's warm, it's natural. There you go. So that's the warm and natural batting for your lovely quilts. That's $40.99. And the last option is, squashed into my trolley. Is it this one? Oh, it is lovely. This is super soft cotton, $43.99, so a more affordable option. It's up to you. It's personal preference. We want to show you all of the options available. This is, what size is this in pre-cut sizes? %100% cotton. 3 metre size, this one. 3 metre size. So that's 100% needle punch cotton, $43.99. Super soft. We also have those wall, have we got the wall hangers. We use them every single day. I love them like the hanger that I showed you earlier on. They're neutral wood, so you can paint them whatever colour or keep them nice and neutral as you want. But when you've finished your quilt and you're thinking, I don't want to spread this onto a bed, or I haven't got any more beds to spread onto, I've done too many quilts, then these are great to have them as a wall hanging. And what's lovely about these is that marble within, so you're not going to damage your quilt. You're not clipping it, you're not pinning it, you are not going to damage all of that hard work and all of that skill and time and effort that you've put into your quilt. They're really nice quality. Exactly the same as the other one. They simply hang onto the wall. We use them as sewing quarter every single day. You get 2 in there at $10.99. But as you see, if I just slide that back and forth, then you can see how it works. And the marble will just trap the quilt in. That's kind of the way that it traps your quilt in and will hold it in place. But you can then remove it really easily and change the quilt, because we're obviously changing our quilt every single day. Had a lot of people asking us to bring them to air, so we thought we'd bring them to you. And they're really nice and neutral. You can paint them if you wish, or keep them just wooden as they are. Okay. Some stock warnings. The navy rainbow quilt, here. Over half the stock has gone for the navy. Get a lot of fabric. We're checking in baskets because there's a lot of people that were interested in this earlier on. 9 meters of fabric in total with your instructions. If everybody checks out, there's only 2 remaining. So do be quick. If you're watching, especially on the replay, I would be careful because I think this one is going to sell out today. It's $62.99 for 9 meters of fabric. And it's the one, it doesn't surprise me that it's been popular because it is the one that's been hanging behind me all day long. Anybody that's new as well, if you are diving in and having a go at quilting, you also get 2 meters of randomly selected fabric free with your first order over £10. You only need to spend £10 and you're going to get 2 meters of fabric, which is to the value of over £19. Ooh, not bad for a freebie, eh? How good's that? So, yes, the navy version. So the one behind me is the white version. Is the one with the white background. So you've got all of the rainbow fabrics. And then you have the white background. You have all of your step-by-step instructions, and you have your layout diagram. So all of the lovely fabrics, $62.99, $62.99. Just so you know, there's 3 people, thank you, that have it in their basket. So please, please, please do check out. This was on the 15th of February. 15th of February, if you go onto YouTube, YouTube and type in sewing quarter 15th of February, then you can see exactly how to demo this. Hello, Anne in Manchester. Just received my first fabric order from the sewing quarter. Fabulous quick service, thank you. Off to my sewing room now. How exciting, Anne. Let us know what you make. Send in all your pictures. Are you on the Facebook sewing quarter fan page? It's brilliant, isn't it, for sharing all of our projects? But send them in. We'll show them on telly. We'll show them on telly. So there's the rainbow quilt. This one with the white background. Stock warning on the sunrise. This one is beautiful. The grey one's gone. Grey one's now sold out. This one on the still, as you can see, the wordplay, the one that did Lucy do this one as well? Lucy is our resident quilter. She's always here to talk all things quilting and creative grids and log cabins galore. But this is a very, very easy block actually to make. It's using skills that you probably know if you do patchwork quilting, then it's not too tricky. So this is a really nice, quick one to do. If you just want to make a block, you get 3 meters of fabric, so you're going to have fabric left over as well. And I can imagine using my leftover fabric. Something like this would be nice to make I don't know, there's loads of options. Something for in your workroom. 14th of March, Lucy did this, so you can make it, or a kid's bedroom as well. You could make something nice out of that, cushion or numbers. You know, the letters that we did, that Easter one, that would look nice with this. $29.99 for the lot, for 3 meters of fabric, for your instructions as well. I know there's 4 of you that have already got it in your basket, so please be careful and check out. It's not yours until you check out. You've got your step-by-step instructions. You can watch the demo on YouTube. But I mean, look at how different that looks. This colourway, or whether you're looking at this one or the grey's now sold out, but this one is available and it's lovely. You can change the colour around as well though, couldn't you? You could actually have, because there's enough fabric in there that you have the blocks, the letters or the numbers in different places. To have a bit of a play around. Hello, Isabel. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you very much for your words of encouragement. She says, well done, you're doing a brilliant job. Thank you so much. Still very new to this, so I'm still finding my feet, but you know what? I absolutely love it. And at the start, I was probably a bit more nervous about all of the new different techniques. I mean, everybody here is still learning new techniques. Later on at 11 o'clock, Jenniffer's going to be here with a brand new technique, and she'd never even used it before. So, yes, thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm loving learning loads, and yeah, it really helps with all your support. Quick warning about the... Look at this. We only had 3. We did only have 3, and we are never getting it again. 1 has definitely been confirmed. 1 is in a basket. So that means there's room for 1 more person. If you want this, if you've got it in your basket, I really, really say check out, check out, check out. It's beautiful. Annamarie, sorry. We all know and love. She's beautiful. She's been here in the studio as a guest. That just shows our connections, doesn't it? But this particular quilt has been very, very popular, and it's not coming back. Anna teamed up with Free Spirit to create a lovely, lovely quilt. You get a lot of fabric. You get everything you're going to need, everything you're going to need in that bundle, in that kit to create Anna's lovely quilt. All you're going to need to get is your backing and your wadding. So there it is. You get the templates. She's beautiful, isn't she? I cannot believe she's had 7 children. That is a big family, isn't it? That is a busy, busy family. Lucy demoed this on the 7th of Feb. So you can watch it back exactly how to do it, step by step. But also the instructions are very, very clear. It is lovely, isn't it? This is what's great about this quilt hour, is that normally we focus on 1 quilt or 1 design or 1 colourway. We've got so much to show you. $199.99. Have you noticed, by the way, in the graphics, this was $249.99. It's £50 saving. It's a bit of, right, it's a limited stock just to make sure the last few go, because this can't keep going on air. Our airtime is expensive, obviously, so we do want to make sure that these last 3 get a home. 1's now definitely gone. But there she is in a workroom with all that lovely fabric. And it does work so beautifully together. I know there's a lot of people with it in there. Well, there's a couple of you that are hesitant to checking out. Make sure you do before it's too late. You'll only pay 1 postage and packaging all day long. And it's such a lovely kit. It comes so beautifully presented, and that's exactly how it will come, with your templates, with your instructions, and with all of this lovely, lovely fabric. With a huge reduction, £50 saving from our price. So there it is. Okay. By the way, just really quickly whilst I'm here, because already a lot of them selling. If you want an overlocker, if you're looking for an overlocker, then now is the time to buy, that we are offering a bit of a promotion. We are also going to include 4 free black threads. So you're making a saving of £31.49. It was shown yesterday and it's sold out. So we've managed to add more in if you want it. If you're buying it, if you're buying Annamarie Horner, it's still 1p&p. Even if you're buying larger items, it doesn't matter whether you're buying needles or whether you're buying the sewing machines or overlockers, then you're still only going to pay 1 postage and packaging. Keep checking out, and you'll be absolutely fine. You'll still only pay 1p&p. The Airborne quilt. Oh, it's so pretty. It really, really is. I think it's my favourite. This one was made by Lucy, and it's using foundation paper piecing. But don't be scared. If you're thinking, foundation paper piecing, I've not done that. Don't worry. Lucy Brennan breaks it down and makes it so simple. I mean, really simple. And the reason that she uses the foundation paper piecing is because look at the precision you get. Look at the precision. Look at how accurate those lines meet. Once you've done one, it's so simple. You can then use the templates and just recreate that and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And whether you decide just to do one on a cushion cover, in this kit, you get enough to do that whole mini quilt, which is finished size 60 inches by 80 inches. So it's still a really nice size, but you can just use this fabric for other projects if you're thinking, right, I love this rainbow. I'm going to make a cushion and then I'm going to make something else. $49.99 is great value. Oh, sorry, hang on, I got the wrong. It's 36 inches by 40 inches. 36 inches by 40 inches. And of all of the instructions we've seen today, these ones are the most comprehensive. It tells you exactly how to cut your fabric out, your paper piecing instructions. If you've never done foundation paper piecing before, don't worry. It's got all of the templates. It's literally like, yeah, just photocopy them. Just photocopy them to scale on your, if you just put, you know, on your photocopier, you can just put them to this actual scale. Or I suppose you could size them up or size them down if you want to, can't you? Half the stock has gone. It's just like colouring in by numbers with fabric, isn't it? That's all it is, really. But it is such a really effective look once it's done, especially in that rainbow fabric. 6.5 metres in total. And this is what you can achieve at home. There it is. We had a lovely email. One of our viewers actually emailed in. Was it Helen? Helen got in touch with us and she'd made one. And honestly, they all, because of this foundation paper piecing, it's always going to look amazing. It's absolutely fault proof. So you'll love it. Let us know how you get on with that. Okay. We've got a brand new technique coming up. We've got something brand new. I mean, I'm relatively new to all of this, so I'm still finding my feet, but we're all learning together in this next hour, including Jenniffer. This is the first time Jenniffer's actually come across this technique. It's Swedish weaving. It's called Huck, and it's a completely new technique. It's something that you can just do, hand stitching, something nice and tranquil. I know somebody was asking, something that they can do on the move, stitching on the move, then this one is going to be perfect for you. Something for everybody. So don't go anywhere. We've got brand new hook stitching, and we've got cross stitch, brand new cross stitch kits as well, all coming up on the other side of this.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
On Thursday the 12th of April, we're joined by master quilter Lucy Brennan in the studio. Lucy will be making an all-stars mini quilt which was designed by Nicola Calver and was first seen in Love Patchwork and Quilting magazine. This brightly coloured mini quilt combines 3 classic techniques of flying geese, half square triangles and economy units to create a striking finish. Lucy will be showing us how to master this lovely quilt, which is available in 3 colourways of pinks, purples and greens. So tune in to make a mini quilt that will create a big impact. Join us on Thursday the 12th of April at 8 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Tune in on Friday the 13th of April when we're joined by our favourite toy maker, Jo Carter. Jo will be bringing back her softy turtle and showing us some brand new fluttery butterflies. You can make both of these adorable softies from just one kit and we have 3 bright colourways available for you to choose from to ensure you can add both characters to your collection. Jo will be here to give you all the tips and tricks you need to make her lovable turtle and her brilliant new butterflies, which were first seen in Simply Sewing magazine. With their soft, plush fabric and brightly coloured quilted wings, you'll be flying away in no time. So join us when we're all a-flutter on Friday the 13th of April at 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. Jo Carter is back with Sewing Quarter on Saturday the 14th of April with a brand new green-legged softie. Jo will be debuting her frog for the first time live on air. This adorable character has goggly eyes, long limbs and is available in 2 colourways of light green and dark green. They're perfect for the children or big kids in your life. Jo will be here to show us how to add the finishing touches to your frog, and we've got everything you need to make this little hopping character part of your collection. So tune in at 10 AM on Saturday the 14th of April, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Now we're all learning in this hour. This is going to be really exciting because we've got a brand new technique. We are relatively new. We're still learning here. It's over, well, we're over 1 now. We're over 1, but there's still so much that people are requesting to see, and they want to see demos on this stitch and different creations. So we've got hook stitch or Huck embroidery. What's the how's it spelled? H-U-C-K. But we can pronounce it hook. So this is, well, we've got so much that we're going to do today. We've got cross stitch as well, which we can show you, and some tapestry. But we've got 2 starter kits of what you're going to need. I won't spend too much time here this time because we want to know what we're going to be doing, don't we, before we see it. But I'll just quickly show you through. We've got templates. Are these different templates then, different kits? You get 2 in 1, brilliant. So you get these 2 templates. No, you don't, do you? You get 1 of these. There's 2 on here, yeah. Which one first then, Paul? Which one's that for? Oh, brilliant, okay. Is that one then, yeah? Or this one? This one. Stop the show. We've got the wrong ones, haven't we? Okay, we'll go for cross stitch first. So we've got cross stitch. Brand new. Let's start with the brand new kits. These are brand new London kits. Oh, we love these. Jenniffer started to have a bit of play around with these, and they are so cool. So Jenniffer's done this one. This one in my left hand with the car and Big Ben and the London bus and the London Eye with the underground. I absolutely love it. So this is a brand new cross-stitch kit for just $18.99. We did a cross-stitch special about a week or 2 ago, and it was, again, so popular, so backed by popular demand. We've also got this one. Oh, wow. That's going to take you a bit more time, isn't it? But it's so therapeutic. A lot of people want to know about stitching on the go, or, you know, projects that you can take around with you. In these brand new kits, they have fantastic instructions. They will tell you exactly what you can do. Oh, so they're the other ones in the London collection, but it has all of the really clear instructions anyway. $18.99. So we also have this. Oh, absolutely love this. This is the Van Gogh. This is awesome. I know so many people that would love this. As a wall hanging then, that's going to look really, really, really impressive. £38.50. And that includes your needle. It includes all of your cotton. It includes your cross-stitch chart and your full instructions as well. That's £38.50, and that's brand new. That's another brand new one today from the National Gallery. We have some Monet. Is this another brand new kit as well? Brand new today. This is another one that is brand new. £38.50. And that's another beautiful one. You've got needle, you've got your cotton, you have your cross-stitch chart, and you have the full instructions, brand new for £38.50. Okay. We also have... We'll talk about these with Jenniffer more because I know she was so excited about these. Your Art Deco tapestry kit. You have your Art Deco tapestry kit. We only have 5 available. Only 5 available, so it is incredibly limited. And Jenniffer has told me that this one will be really, 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 really popular. You get a lot in there, a lot in there. So that's your full tapestry kit in a lovely box. £75. So there it goes. There it has everything that you are going to get in your Art Deco tapestry kit. We also have it in Art Nouveau. 38 skeins as well in there. 38 skeins. Should we have a look at the Art Nouveau? Sorry, we don't want to spend too much time because we need to talk about our new hook stitch. So this is the Art Nouveau. I'll take these over to Jenniffer because she can talk to us more about these. There you go, £75 for the whole kit, which contains 38 skeins, tapestry needles, your canvas, and your instructions. Now, let's go back to Hook, because we can come back to these other cross-stitch ones. So, here we go. We have the 2 kits that are available. First of all, the white or the cream. White. So, you have your white canvas, and you have 2 large templates. There you go. You have all these. Now, this might not make a lot of sense just yet, but it will do, I promise, within the next few minutes. We're going to have a full demonstration of exactly what to do, and then I can recap these with you. But this is your starter kit. This is what you're going to need with your canvas. What do you call it? Ada. We also have the cream. Now, are these different patterns? Yeah. Yeah, different patterns. So it's up to you which ones you want to try. I love that they're colour coordinated as well. I know that Jenniffer was making one and it wasn't colour coordinated, so she says this is brilliant that it is. So it's going to be very simple for you to follow. So there's your templates. And your Ada. Okay, let's get over to Jenniffer so she can tell us exactly what this is all about. So, hello.
Hello.
Are you feeling nervous?
Huh?
We're all right.
We're all good.
So, I mean, you love hand stitching anyway, don't you?
I'm really getting into hand stitching. So whether it's sort of folk embroidery, Sashiko, obviously, as you know, is one of my first passions. But it's through that journey through Sashiko that I used to hate hand sewing. So going back to dressmaking, the idea of finishing off a waistband by hand, hated. Hems, hated. Yeah. Whereas now, as I've gone on my journey, and you'll all feel this, I'm sure some of you can concur, that you end up, there's a point where actually you go, you know what? I'm going to hand finish that hem. Yeah. I'm going to start hand doing this. And it's through that journey that I'm just devouring hand stitching and just learning more and more. And you never stop learning, do you? I mean, no, exactly. We know this every day being here at Sewing Quarter. There's always something new to learn. And we thought we'd bring you something new today. And it's hook embroidery, or Swedish embroidery is the other term for it. So I love it. It's got a proper retro vibe.
So how is this different to embroidery or Sashiko though?
Well, I'm trying to put my little stitchy head on. So it is called embroidery, but I think it's very similar to Sashko. And the reason being is because it looks like a running stitch, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I bring both these in.
It's in, out again.
In, out, check it all about. It looks like a running stitch, but what you're actually doing, I think it's quite interesting that they call it embroidery, because I actually think it's more like weaving. And the reason being is because you're actually weaving in and out through what would be the floats of the Ada. So what makes this really special that you won't get in any other embroidery, there's nothing on the back.
So it's so clean.
It's super, super clean. So this is it's basically like surface embroidery, basically, for lack of a better word. And you're weaving in and out of those Adas, out of the floats in the Ada. So I just think that it's super fab. So that's what they look like on the front. And that's what it looks like on the back. So it's giving you that super clean finish, which I love.
I love that. I still managed to make such a mess, even though I'm really trying to be careful. My back's always rubbish.
So traditionally this would have been put onto things like linen, tableware, but then I'm thinking clutch bags. Yeah. You know, I'm really cushions. Like I really think there's quite a few projects that you could really put this onto. So you know, it's not just about having that wall hanging. I'm thinking a modern twist on the hook or Huck. I don't know how you would say it, but yeah. Well, I'm not from Lancashire or anything like that. Huck. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and once you get going, it becomes very addictive, very methodical. You just kind of zen out with it, which is what I think is really lovely.
So it is a nice sort of relaxing thing that you see in front of the television and do.
So I mean, looking at what would be like the sort of the charts or the patterns, you look at that and go, oh, what? Yeah. That looks super complicated. But actually, once you start the first layer where you've got the kind of base pattern down, you can kind of ditch that and just get stitching. Okay. And believe me, it won't take you long to start going, oh, what if I did this instead? And then you'll start creating your own patterns in no time at all.
So why is this colour coordinated?
Well, I think if I bring in my one that I first had, and I was like, everyone's going to go and start like tripping out, for lack of a better word, because that's what I had the first time round. So it's all in red, and with those little lines. So those little lines, the grey lines, they're in threes. That's relating to the floats. Okay. And then obviously the red lines are what would be the threads. So you can't, especially when it gets really dense, it's hard to differentiate between which lines which. Yeah. So after speaking with our team, I thought, right, let's get colour coordinating. So I thought I'd apply my Sashko rules on this. So you might have heard me talking about the different layers and then doing each layer in a different colour. That's basically what I said to do, because then you can clearly see which line is where you'd need to go to create those awesome design. So it's just to help you, really. You don't have to use those coloured threads. It's just to help you. So in my samples, I've gone with the multicolours again, so you can clearly see what I'm doing, but there's nothing stopping you doing this all in red, blue, any colour you want, and you can go for it. But I think definitely have a little try around with the bright colours. The bright colours, because I think they look really good as they do. So
that's kit number 2
that's kit number 2, yeah. So that's that one there, and then this one is a different design, so they're not the same. So if I let you do the handiwork, because you're much better at it than me. So these are different designs. So this is more that one, I believe.
Yeah, you've played about and mixed a few in there, haven't you?
That's that one, and then on the other side is the bottom one, which I've kind of used to reverse it. So if I put it that way, it might make more sense.
There you go. It is really effective, isn't it? Like you said, effective. You have to think of it, the possibilities are endless, that you can apply this to lots of different projects, can't you?
Well, so, if you use like monk's cloth, for instance, you could match it like traditionally it would have been used to make Afghan coats and things like that. So you're weaving in, so you can make clothes out of it if you wanted to. So really, the possibilities are absolutely endless.
Now, we're going to need needle and thread. Now, they're different needles, aren't they? You've got your skeins, which we've chosen the really nice bright ones. We've actually bundled them together. So there you go. You can get all 5 of these for £9.49. And they really are nice bright colours to get you going, to start you off, especially When it can be a little more tricky to differentiate on the template.
When they start getting quite dense, yeah, it's quite difficult to see. So I would definitely suggest playing around with the bright colours. So yeah, you know, obviously we like to have the right tools for the job, and you can just use your embroidery needles if you wanted to. But actually the hook needles are so much easier, and it's so much gentler on the hands. So if I just bring that out for you, you can probably see that there's like a little hook.
Yes.
It's literally like a little hook.
Yeah.
Can you see? Oh, there you go, that's better.
Yeah.
It's got a little hook. So when I start stitching, you'll see where that really comes into its own. And again, very similar to our Sashiko needles, nice and long, and it really will make the difference when we start stitching. But it is all about that little hook there that makes this a lot easier on the hands.
So why have we got the different lengths here? Yes, you're using the longer one on this, but in here you do get 3 all different lengths.
So again, it's very similar to Sashiko, where depending on sort of how what count your Ada is, as in how big the stitches will be and how big your thread would be, your appropriate thread you'd apply on that. So it's the same as Sashiko, really. Okay. So bigger the stitch, bigger the needle, really.
They're really nice, aren't they? They're gold plated. They look lovely.
So I couldn't resist. So I've made myself a little hook needle case. There's my little sample there. So obviously it's got to be in the mustards. It's all about the mustards.
Oh yeah, you love it. I went onto your Instagram and it is just like mustard everywhere.
So even though I've worked sort of tonally here, but again, it just play around with the colours, guys.
So you really have got a bit addicted to this. They've said, right, here's something new, and you've already made yourself a nice
once you get your head around the pattern, you'll be flying, trust me. So let's start with the basics. I think that's probably the best thing to get started. So I'm just going to move those patterns out just for a second. So the first thing you're going to want to do with the Ada, when it first comes out, it's quite stiff. So I would dampen it down with a cloth and give it iron, and it just helps it be a bit more malleable. So you're not working in a hoop. So the cross stitch kits that you've got there, you would work in a hoop, whereas with this you don't. So again, there's that kind of similarity with Sashiko where you're really manhandling the fabric. So again, because of that, you might want to consider finishing off the edges maybe with a zigzag or a fine straight stitch, because eventually, I mean, part of the great thing about this, once you finish your work, you can she says, you can start fraying off the Ada, and then that would in turn will give it a nice effect. So definitely do something with it while you're stitching. Or some fray check, just some fray check.
How do you cut, because you want to cut this down a bit, do you? Or?
Well, I'm just cut it down into small pieces just so it's easy for me to handle, so I can show you the intricate of the stitches. But once you get down,
they're already cut anyway,
yeah, they're already pre-cut. I can't remember what size it came in, actually. Have I got some left over?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There's the size of it. And I've already taken that off.
Oh, nice.
That's how big it is.
Yeah, so it's nice size as well, isn't it? You can have a really good play with that. Can we show you the size of the hole? There it is.
So I've already cut a section off, which is that part there.
30 by 45 centimetres.
There you go, that's the size of it. So you've got 2 colours, you've got your white and your cream there. So I've just cut that down just to make it easier for me to work with. So the first thing I want to show you is just how to start hooking. So obviously you're going to get your hook needle and your thread. Now, what's really cool about it is that you're working in what would be the floats of the fabric. Okay, so in this case, you have got your horizontal and your vertical floats. Like so, but we're going to be working with the vertical ones, okay, so it's in that direction, okay. So what you're doing is basically you're hooking underneath, oh, you want to get all of them there, the vertical throat. So there's one.
How are you not going through to the back, though?
So I'm using my finger, so the way it's, I'm trying to think of an appropriate way to explain it, is that the way it's woven, it's got 2 layers to it. You've got what would be the vertical and the horizontal floats. And so I'm just working in the vertical. So I'm not piercing through the horizontal. So where in cross stitch, where you can see that it's all kind of mapped over each other, you would work into the holes. With hook, you don't. You work into the actual physical floats.
Okay.
So if I just do a couple more stitches.
And I love this, I love Sashiko, and I know I've got to be careful because but I struggle to get my stitch length the same. So with this, you're absolutely fine because it's guided there for you.
You're working into the fabric. So if I just pull that through, so you can see that's where you're getting what looks like a running stitch, but in fact it's not. You're just working in and out of what would be the weaves of that fabric. And then what's great about it is that the horizontal floats are covering the threads in the back. So there's a little lump, because obviously you can see where the thread's passing through it, so you can feel it, but you can't see it.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
It's fab, isn't it? So that would just be your standard kind of stitch. The next one.
So that is what you would use for...
Yeah, so if we just go quickly back to the patterns, so let's use this larger piece here. That stitch would be applied to that section. So the 3 lines on the pattern is just basically relating to what would be the vertical floats. So I'm going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 floats. So very similar again to your cross stitch, you're counting your way through it. So there isn't much difference between the cross stitch and obviously your hook as far as reading a pattern, if you like, and that's what that's relating to. Whereas this one here, so if we come back to this part of the pattern here, so this is just an enlarged version of that. So you can see I've gone across 10, and then it's like, well, how do I get to here? So that's the next stitch. You can see I've got 3 little lines there. How do I get to that one? And that's called a slant stitch. So I'll show you what that is now. So if I do a couple of stitches, if I just do 5, as if I'm doing half of the line. So if I go in, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's that bit done, okay? So we will go into the patterns more in a moment, but basically, I'm doing a jump.
Okay.
And all that basically means, so
it's saying to miss out one vertical.
Miss out one, so it's the next vertical going up. So let's say the pattern says 5, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the 5th one, we go in, like so. So that...
Yeah, that's then your slant stitch.
So then you can carry on with your pattern. So in this case, it's just 1 stitch, but let's just say it said 3 stitches. So I've kind of carried on 3 stitches. So you can see I've gone through 3 of the floats. And I'm going to drop back down. So it's basically the next row across. You can't go into underneath it because there isn't a float there, unless you're going directly underneath and you're going down 6 rather than 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So that one there, that one's called your slant stitch.
Right, okay.
So the last one I'm going to show you, there's basically 3 basic stitches, and if I cover those, then we can get into a pattern. So if I just cut a little bit of thread off.
It is still very simple though,
It's super simple, yeah. And once you've got the designs there and you've got your head around, oh, okay, so that's what I can kind of do, you'll start running with it. You'll definitely start running with it.
There you go. There's the 3 stitches that we're talking about. So we've done the slant.
So we're just about to do the split stitch, which is the one in green. Okay. So the last one is our split stitch. So again, very similar, but it's when you're getting into sort of tight areas. So the pattern...
So these parts, is it?
Not those ones, no. So if I bring my pattern in, which is, say, that one, you can see these are really nice long threads. That's what those sections are doing there. So these ones here, they're not actually stitched in. They're lying on top of what would be the aider. It's these ones here that are actually stitched into the fabric itself. It's only those 2. So anything sort of horizontal, no, it's not horizontal, sorry, vertically.
Yeah, that's right, vertical.
Diagonal, the word is gone. Anything diagonal would be not stitched. So it's just these ones here that are stitched, unless you're starting to go around a corner. But generally speaking, those are all above the fabrics.
Okay, so which are the ones that are getting close together?
So it would be, I'm trying to, there's a pattern, it's this one.
Ah, yeah.
So it'd be pieces like this one that you might need to use what I'm going to show you now, which is a split stitch, where you're basically, where your lines are coming together, you may need to literally go through the same float.
Okay.
Okay, so you're literally splitting the float, for lack of a better word. So if I just bring that in. So again, I'm just going to start with a couple of stitches. So I'm just going to do... One.
This is where it helps to have that hook. It
does help to have the hook, and I could have done with softening up the Ada just a little bit more. Okay, so I've done 3 stitches, so the 4th stitch I'm going to split. So there's actually 3, you might not see this on screen, but in the float there's actually 3 strands.
Yeah.
So I'm only going to pick up one of those strands.
Yeah, we got that.
I'm going to do it again in a second. Oh, give myself a little bit more of a tail. And then I'm going to carry on with my pattern. So let's just say it's another 3 stitches up here. So that's 1, 2, 3. So this is a combination of our slant stitch, which is this bit here. That's the slant, but this is the split. So I'm going to come back down. So you're going back through the same stitch, but this time I'm not stitching into the 2nd and 3rd. I'm just stitching into the 1st.
Just picking up one.
Just one.
Okay.
So the middle one is free. That one there,
yeah, that makes sense.
That is the split stitch.
Okay.
And then you can carry on with your pattern. So the split stitch is where basically you're coming to a very fine point through the same float.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't show you because it's a still.
Yeah, if you want to.
So where you're coming in the top here, when you're coming into the same float, there's 3 strands. So you're picking up the 1st and the 3rd, but leaving the middle one. So it's when you're coming into a sort of diamond shape. And what it almost gives you is kind of like a loop type shape. So when you're stitching, there'll come a point where the pattern will need that. But with all of these ones, you don't need to do that stitch, but it's definitely one for your armoury when you start playing with your stitches.
Right.
So those are your 3 stitches. So those are those covered. So now we can start using the pattern if you wanted to.
Yeah. So now, how do you start? Where do you count from? You know, if you go to cross stitch, like you said, do you start centrally? Do you start left to right, or where do you
exactly.
go?
So it's very similar to your cross stitch. If I just take a piece here, just so it makes it easier to handle. So if I just bring in the cross stitch very quickly, pop that out the hoop. If you're used to cross stitch, and if you're not, we'll potentially go through that in a second. But you're working in a grid. So this is what the pattern looks like on the cross stitch. So obviously you've got all your different keys for all your different threads again, which we'll go through in a second. But you can see that we're working into a grid. So what I've done is just basically marked out what those spaces are. So I think it's 10 floats in each of the spaces.
Okay.
So it's a similar principle with your hook embroidery, because you're wanting to find the centre. So all this is leading to is the centre of your pattern. Then you can work within each of the blocks.
So that's probably the most time-consuming bit, is to work that part out
from the cross stitch point of view, definitely, where it does slightly differ with the hook, because we're not working in grids. We're not working in grids or in the little squares, but what we do want to find is a sort of central point, if you like. So if I bring in my Ada, so what I'm doing with this, rather than doing it in stitch, I'm just quickly using a safety pin. So I'm looking at my pattern. So let's just say we're going to use this design, and then we can obviously count that. So we've already done this count here. We know that it's 10, don't we? And I can see clearly here that there's 3 here.
So we know where our central point is.
Exactly. So I'm going to use that as my central point very quickly, because it's a smaller number and I can deal with it quickly. So there's 3. So you would probably fold your piece in half, find the central float, which I'm going to go there. You might want to just check the distance from the top and the bottom again, because all you're literally just doing is counting the lines.
Yeah. And it's good that this is all blown up as well. So this is the same pattern,
if you're really struggling, then you can really see clearly what needs to be done. And then I'm going to get a nice long piece of thread.
So yeah, with embroidery, you have your long thread. Is it the same?
No. Normally in embroidery, where's my
you have shorter
one
from? We just had them out, didn't we? If they.
Hiding. I need them on my necklace, that's what I need. Okay, so with your Swedish embroidery or your hook embroidery, you could actually measure it out, because you can see it's just a long length of thread. But for speed, I've just cut a length so we can just crack on with it. So the great thing about the Swedish embroidery is that whether you're left or right-handed, it's perfect for both because you work centrally. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my first stitch. So I know that that's the centre. I'm just going to drop it down once so you can still see the central point. But in theory, I would have gone through where that pin is. I'm going to start. So what you're wanting to do here is have an equal amount of thread on the left and the right hand side.
Okay.
Okay. And now we're ready to start stitching. So it was 3 stitches in the central point, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 stitches in the central point, as you can see on the template.
So I've already done the central one. So I'm going to stitch 1 to the left, and that's half the pattern done.
Okay, we've got about 10 minutes with this.
Okay, cool. So then what you're wanting to do is count up. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 spaces up, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces across.
Okay.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going up into that one there. So how many is it across for me? So it's just 2. So it's 1 and 2.
This is template number 2, by the way. This is template number 2. Brand new today. We're all learning together. Brand new technique, new form of embroidery. There's 2 templates in there and your Ada as well.
So all I've just done is counted backwards. So I know that it was 6 across, but the great thing about it is that I can see, sorry, my hands have gone splitty. I can see clearly where I need to go because that continuous line there, and then you can carry on. So once you've done the one side, then you repeat on the other. So this is why it's good for left and right-handers, because you're having to work both left and right-handedly.
We'll have a look at the other template as well. There's option number 1. So that's with the white Ada and different templates. But it's just something to play about with. It's up to you which one you want. It doesn't really matter. Just need to follow the skill. You need to check out there because it is brand new. We always like to learn a new skill.
Okay. So again, just remember it was 6 across. I know where the 11 point is because I've got that mark point on there because that's my top part. But I remember it was 6 across. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting the ones that I can stitch into, not the ones that I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, just to make it
vertical
easier.
Ones.
So just to check the pattern again, it was 3 stitches, not 1.
It's only 1 on the slit stitch, isn't it? You'd only pick up 1. You'd always go through all of them.
Yeah, so on the pattern, when it's got 3 lines, when you've got the 3 lines...
That's to go through the whole vertical float.
The whole float, that's right. You want to go through the float. And then you can, just counting up, there it is.
So all of these are actually, all of your red one are going through the 3 apart from obviously these ones.
Yeah, so we're working the top line. So I'm working this top line at the moment. So I'm stitching through 3, jumping up, which was 6 across and 11 up, and then stitching 2. So I've just stitched 2 now.
So there's the 3, and these are the 2 that she's stitching now. If you are just after the templates by themselves, without the Ada, well, what can we do this on? What other option is there? I think this is great to do it with, isn't it?
It's great to do it with Ada, but monk's cloth's also very good as well.
Okay.
And there was another one that I've forgotten. There's one that looks like pyramids. I can't think what it's called now.
Okay,
it's like a cubed block, but yeah, basically
if you do
anything
want it on its own, then you can just get the templates on their own for $9.99. There they are. But yeah, so you can use it with.
There's multiple
waffle cloth.
Waffle, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. I would have gone insane if I didn't remember that. Yeah, waffle cloth's good for it.
I've not heard of waffle cloth.
Waffle cloth. So there's the base pattern done. So once you've sketched out that one line, you're pretty much tracing it then. You just need to just pick up the differences. So
Oh yeah, that makes it a lot clearer.
Once you've got the one line, you can almost ditch that. Just keep referring to it, because then you can just literally start stitching the other one. So now I've done that, I'll show you how quick it can be.
Yeah.
It's just the counting, I think, that takes the longest amount of time. So I know now, based on the pattern, that I'm going to be going through 4 on this side. 1, 2, 3.
4 that time.
4 on that time.
Oh yeah, there's the other options, by the way, sorry, of the other templates just on their own.
And then on the pattern, I'm only stitching 1 here. So once you've started your base pattern, you're seriously starting, you know, you're away with your stitching. And it is better to stitch sat down, I must admit. I'm finding it difficult standing up.
We've got about 5 more minutes with Huck.
We'll do another line.
We've got some more cross stitch and all sorts. I think the great thing about this is how clean it is on the back. Nothing comes through.
It absolutely was amazing when I was just like, wow, that is really, really cool. So how quickly did I do that second line? Once you've got the countdown and you've got the baseline of that pattern, then you can just start running with it. And then all you need to do, if we just bring in this pattern, for instance, you can see that it's pretty much following the outline for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and then something changes. So you just need to watch for the changes, and that's it. And then you're just a case of then again getting your base pattern down, and then run with it for how many stitches you need to do that for, and just keep working through the lines. And then once you've done that, then you can start going.
Well, you've played about with it as well, haven't you? And you make your own patterns.
What I think is really cool about it is that you can start mirroring the patterns. So this one here is basically that one we've just started here, but I've mirrored it. That's all I've done.
Yeah, it's really effective, isn't it? It does look really nice.
Once it starts working together. So again, we've done those in the rainbow colours, but there's nothing stopping you doing it all in one colour, like similar to like red work, for instance, or you could do sort of the ombre, which I've done with my my needle case there. So, you know, really start playing around with the stitches, use the templates to get started, and then you will fly. You'll absolutely fly.
So there's the different stitches. You can watch this all back on YouTube, so you can remember how to do those. But once you've got those 3 basic stitches, in fact, it's only on the split and a couple of these templates that you will need that bit anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty much looking at them. It might be this one here. I can't think what that
option
is. 1 or 2.
Option 1, that was.
1 or 2. But otherwise, it would really just be definitely the slant stitch and just your normal kind of hook stitch, if you like.
Right. Now, as we mentioned cross stitch earlier, we'll have a look at some of the kits, and then we'll come back to you with cross stitch, because we've got some brand new cross stitch kits. We've got 4 brand new London cross stitch kits. So we'll have a look at the 2 that we didn't see before, because these are the big ones. The 2, which one do you want to do first? We'll do the London attractions first. So we've got the bus and the attractions. So there you have Tower Bridge, London Eye. What else can we name? The Shard, Big Ben. Is that Buckingham Palace at the top? The bunting, I love this. This is really nice. The Crown, of course. The red phone box, umbrella. You always need an umbrella, don't you, when you go to London? So you have everything that you need in this kit. Everything that you need in the kit, $29.99. There it is, with your grid, with your cotton, and with the patterns and the thread. Okay, the London bus. This is cool. I know how popular this one is going to be. It is another brand new London kit. Look at the Queen. There you go, $29.99. It's 10 inches by 8 inches for your brand new cross-stitch kit. Last time we did cross-stitch, there was a lot of people that were asking for bookmarks. I suppose this is really quick and easy. Now we've got some nice Christmas ones. Get them all ready for Christmas. So we've got In the Moonlight, which is, which one? Which is In the Moonlight? County Cross, the Snowman, and the Snow Dog. This one. So this is In the Moonlight, Snowman bookmark. Oh, I know a lot of people that are after the cross-stitch bookmarks. We've listened to you, we've managed to get them in, and start stocking up. It's April already. It'll be nice gifts for people, won't they? That's everything that comes in that one, in that kit. Full instructions. This next one, everything that you're going to need, all included. This is the snowman. Oh, hang on, that one says snow dog. Oh, there we go, snowman and the snow dog. Does say and the snow dog. Oh, and he's a lovely little snow dog. $9.99. And again, it has all of the key, it has the grid, it has your needle, it has the thread, it's got everything that you're going to need to make the bookmark. There it all is, the kit, the full kit, and then the last bookmark is the classic snowman. Raymond Briggs, classic snowman. Again, same price, just $9.99. There it is with everything that's included. You've asked, we've delivered. That's what's so good about it. We're a big community. Let us know what it is that you want us to bring. New skills, new bookmarks. $9.99. Now, the one that Jenny is demoing with, we briefly saw this one earlier on. Here it is. We saw the car anyway, didn't we? It's this one, isn't it? With the car. Big Ben, London Eye, the Underground, the car. But you get the whole kit, brand new kit, all in. There it is. Cross stitch is always popular, isn't it? It seems to be a bit of a cult, the cross stitches.
Cross stitch cult.
Everybody, I know, I've seen some
Go to the dark side.
Yes.
Come to the cross stitch cult.
I've seen some amazing cross stitch work.
Some beautiful pieces.
You know, did you see the Disney one? A lady put on the Sewn Quarter fan bag. Oh, it was brilliant.
Send it back in again, I need to see it.
Oh, it was lovely. I mean, this is going to be popular, isn't
totally
it?
got my eye on the Van Gogh sunflowers.
Oh, yeah. They're brand new as well.
So beautiful.
They're going to look lovely on the wall, aren't
they? They
they?
will look amazing. Totally amazing.
The London ones are brand new as well. These are... And again, they look really, really good, don't they?
They look
really
so
bright.
good. Well, the thing is, if you break it down again, it's it's talk about the basics. Like with my sash code, it's the running stitch. With cross stitch, it's obviously about just stitching across. And then once you've mastered that, you can create some really beautiful pieces. But I think these are great ones. I mean, straight away I've got my sister and brother-in-law in house. They're quite funky, and I can imagine. And they've already got scenes of Birmingham by artists and things. So they like to have these kind of quirky pieces. So I'm already thinking, having a cross-stitch tapestry of London for their collection of places that they've been and visited. It's a really nice one to do.
Really good idea. Really good idea.
So yeah, it's a really nice one to do. And again, talking about our lady who wants something to do with her hands while she's doing her travelling a bit, this is definitely the kit for you.
So how does it work? You get a key with all of the different...
Yes, so in your kit, you obviously have the packaging. You've got a coloured version of what it looks like, which I think is fabulous. You've got your key, which is this one here, which is the one that I'm working with, because then that really helps me then when I'm going with the colours, because sometimes you can't really tell the grading differences on this coloured option here. So this one's really the one that I lent to straight away, and you can see that we've got hearts, we've got stars, diamond shapes, but basically what that's referring to is this part here, which is your key for your thread. So you know exactly which one you need to be using where, and obviously they've given you enough threads to do your piece with, so you haven't got to go buy anything. And then another thing is they also put a needle in there, which is also fabulous. So it's also telling you how many strands you need to do your cross stitch in as well. So again, you need to break those down. So the first thing that I did was sort of work my grid. So you can see I've got these little black dashes here. So that's just basically, you can see that's all the stitching in the back there. I'll take that out once I'm finished. That's not a permanent stitch. But what it's doing is giving me the base grid that I need to work from, so I can start working into these squares to create my design. So I've already gone ahead and done my little black cap.
Yeah,
that's already done. It looks cute, doesn't it? So I put it on my Instagram going, can you guess what it is yet? Everyone thought it was a VW Beetle, but no, it's a black cab, I'm afraid. So with this one, unlike your hook, you do need to put it into a hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, if you haven't got a hoop, then there you go. We can put the graphics in for a hoop.
Okay, I'm just going to tighten that up slightly.
Oh, this is going to come in handy for lots of different things as well, your embroidery.
Yeah, so I've just gone with a small and a sort of medium-sized hoop because I can move it around my piece as I work. So again, a great one for travel because you don't want a big, massive hoop while you're on the train or whatever. So you can work it in smaller hoops rather than a big, large hoop. And I'm going to go and start my Big Ben.
So now you just choose. You say, right, okay, I want to do this part or this part. There's no...
Well, you can... some people start from the centre and work out, but I found it just easier to kind of start in the corner because you can really count very quickly, whereas when you start getting here you get a bit snowblind for me personally. So I started in the corner with a very obvious thing, so I felt like a sense of achievement straight away. Exactly. So I went with the lovely little black tab first, and then from that I can then really start working through it. So with the thread, it says to do 2 strands, where I'm actually going with 1 strand. But what I'm doing is I've gone through my needle with the double end there, and you can see that I've got a loop on the very bottom. So I have got two strands on there when I'm stitching, but I start just a little bit differently because obviously with the sashy yeses and the sashy nos, you know that in my Sashco sessions, we have a big fat knot in the end, but we know that's a big embroidery stroke cross stitch. No. So how I like to start mine, if we just go back to the plan very quickly, I know that from my taxi that the last stitch on that line is where I need to start my blue, and in this case it's in a heart shape.
And it has all this on that it will tell you what...
On the instructions, that's right. So I'm going to take my needle up through the base of that cross, and then I'm going to come down. So you can see that I haven't actually knotted anything yet. So how I like to knot off is take the needle through the loop, like so. And then that way it creates a sort of a locking stitch. So then that way it's not going to go anywhere. And I've not got a big knot in the end. So that's how I like to do it. Some people prefer a long tail and they leave it in, and as they're working, they're kind of tucking it in. But I like that one because I know it's not going to come off my needle. Then. Another thing...
Just less than 10 minutes, sorry.
That's fine, that's fine. So I'm just going to count now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So... think of it, whereas before we were kind of hooking under the floats, we're working either side of the floats now. I've got a little knot in there. So that's 2. Now I prefer, I'm using my Sashco elements here, to work with the diagonals, or the back slashes and the forward slashes, as I like to call them. I can see what I've done now. I've lost my
thread. So you're not crossing at each one.
I'm not crossing at this stage. Let me just cut that off. Let me start again. Get myself into a tangle. I prefer to work with one of the. Obviously your crosses, you've got your forward slashes and your back slashes. I like to work with one or the other first, because with cross stitch there is kind of a rule. If you want to, again, like you want to apply your Sashco rules, you can or don't have to, but if essentially one of those need to be dominant on the top, then that way you've got a really nice smooth even cross stitch. Whereas if you're kind of going like that and then like that and then like that and then like that on others, you've got the left and the right going different, you're going different. So try and stay consistent, and how I like to do that is by
doing it all
one way first and then going back on myself. And then also, if you've done a mistake, it's a lot quicker to unpick if you've just done the one slash rather than doing the cross. So I'm cheating. I'm probably not doing it as per the cross stitch rules, but I like to do my forward slashes first and then my back slashes later. So I'm just going to start that again very quickly, sorry, because I got myself into a little tiz. So again, I'm just threading through the opened end of my strands, leaving me a loop on the back. I'm going to come through the top. So again, I'm just taking it through that loop, see there?
Yeah.
It's giving me that little shank. So there's 1, 2, 3.
So again, it's like painting by numbers, isn't it?
It's totally like that. And you find yourself going very quiet. It's very meditative, definitely, cross stitch. It's just one you can get just lost in.
It is fab that in the kit you get everything that you're going to need. You get all of the different shades and the different colours. But if you do want to add that hoop, then yeah, you can add that hoop as well. 18.99. The Van Gogh's going well, by the way. We've put the graphics down at the bottom for the Van Gogh.
So you can see that I've done all of my backslashes so far, up to the 6 that I needed to. Now, there is another line. I can see from the instructions there's another line, so I'm actually going to do that now as well.
So you'll still carry on along,
so still staying in the same direction. So in theory, if you wanted to, is do the whole thing in one slash and then do it again over the top. But I like to think of it, I've completed that section so I can work, I can move away with it. Once I've checked my pattern, so I know that there's 2 layers of 6 cross stitches parallel to each other.
Yeah, I think this is quite therapeutic, isn't it?
Yeah, once you start stitching, it's just, you can really get lost in it. So I've completed that little section that I wanted to do, where I can concentrate on the stitch and not have to keep referring to the pattern. I've just checked that everything's correct. Yes, it is. And now I'm going to go back the other way. So this is where you've got that consistency of your cross stitch. So I know that all of my right to left stitches are on top of my left to right stitches. And then that just gives you that lovely even look. So if you had, if you're sat down, what I tend to do is kind of, if I just move away for a second, I actually butt it up against the table, and I'm using my left and my right hand, so I pass up through my left, and so then you get speedy. So you can get stands for that.
Oh, really?
But after a while, I was just like, I want to go quicker, so I was trying to find ways and positions to do, but you can't really do it sat down. So I'm butting it up against my stomach, butting that up against the table, and then I've got both my hands free. So you can pass down with your left and up through the right, or whichever is more comfortable for you. And then you can get quite a speed on it. Once you've done all, this is why I like doing the 1 slashes first, because once you've done your outline, then you can
then you can
just
see
fill in. You're almost like you're colouring in, really.
There it is.
There it is.
I know that Jenniffer was saying this is going to be perfect for. Was it your sister-in-law? Did you say?
My sister-in-law, yeah.
Yeah, I've got loads of friends that have all of those big canvases with London buses or different things, and this is just so nice. And especially also, you don't even need to necessarily do a big wall hanging. It could even be like a pin cover, like your hook one or something. You can
definitely.
You can take these skills then and just
take
do
a section,
car, or just do a London Underground or bunting even. You've got lots of different options.
You could just take little snippets of the pack, couldn't you? Like for instance, just the clock face of Big Ben, for instance. You could just stitch that part. So that's that bit done. So there are other bits of blue that I could continue with doing, but I'm just going to show you how I like to finish off. So you can see that it's in the back. It's not as neat as our Huck embroidery because we can see the stitches, but by doing one first then the other, you can see that it gives it a really nice, clean, neat finish. And then what I'm going to do is just thread through one of the stitches, and then I'm going to go back on myself. So it's almost like a back stitch. So again, I'm still not knotting. And then what I'm then going to do is pass through the backs of those stitches for a couple. And then I can snip off.
And it still looks really nice and neat.
It's still nice and neat. So again, there's no knots in there, because we don't want excessive bulks, but we just want the cross stitch to do all the talking, as they say. So that's the cross stitch. But honestly, once you start going, it does get very addictive, and you can just really get lost in some really nice quiet time, me time, which we don't always get to have.
Exactly.
And create something really personal for somebody, or as you
that's really lovely. Thank you very, very much. In fact, just whilst you're still here, can we just talk about these tapestry kits with you as well? Because I know that you love these.
Well, I've done a little bit of tapestry, but on very small scale. But as soon as you mentioned the word Art Deco. Like, I love Art Deco period. It's just amazing.
And these are such lovely kits, aren't they?
They are beautiful. Look at them. Well, how they're just packaged straight away. I'm like, I don't want to open them up.
I know, they're beautiful. So in here, you do get the 38 skeins. You get your tapestry canvas as well. And it's very, very similar to what we've been seeing over the last
hour,
couple of demos.
So I'm going to use a totally inappropriate needle. Oh, actually, I've got a straight needle here I can show you.
There you go. There's everything that you're going to get, all on the screen.
So with the tapestry, you're actually using wool. to do your work.
Right.
But unlike cross stitch, with tapestry, you're just stitching in the one direction. So you're basically just doing the back stashes, for instance, but you're kind of blending them as you go. So is there any instructions there I might be able to tell you?
Yeah, you get the instructions, you get the canvas. And
so what's really great about the canvas with this one, whereas obviously with our London, we're having to kind of work it out, with this one, it's already printed in. But the key with tapestry is that you're going in the one direction all the time. There's no crossing in it. So you don't do some left, right to left, and then some left to right. It's all going in, let's say, the right to left direction. And that's going to look really nice. I do love the Art Deco, like you said. But it's still working in that kind of canvas, like Ada style. So, you know, you can do tapestry on the Ada that you've got in our first kit if you wanted to. So that's the Art Deco. We also have the Art Nouveau option, which I'll show you very quickly. Thank you. They're lovely kits. Nice gift for somebody, isn't it, that is? That is just amazing. So I'd want to make that into either a picture or as an actual pillow and use it as a pillow after. Yeah, that would, because it's wool, so it would be nice to be gorgeous. So that's £75 as well, and you do get all of your wool. You have your canvas, and I believe you get you get all of your instructions. So and whether you get needles, yeah, you do. You get the needles as well. Fantastic. There's everything you get. The finished tapestry is 40 by 40 centimetres. Oh, it's beautiful. That's perfect cushion size. Right, thank you ever so much. Thank you very much. And we will see you... Tuesday. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you very much. Bye. Right. We'll just quickly go back over these kits. If you did want the one that Jenniffer was just looking at, I think I've brought it back over here. Thank you. So here is the section that Jenniffer was just working on. But as we said, I mean, you can pinpoint lots of different sections, and if you just wanted to do the bunting, or if you want to do this, but all together, it does look lovely. You've got everything, including there for $18.99, including exactly the coloured threads that you need. 6 by 6. Now, as soon as Jenniffer mentioned the Van Gogh, a lot of people put it into their baskets. I've got a feeling, yes, this is brand new today. I don't think it's going to be lasting very long. The amount of you that have got it in your baskets now, you need to check out. This is brand new from the National Gallery, and it's going to look amazing. How gorgeous is that going to look upon your wall? Finished size is 12 by 15 inches. And in there, you get all of those beautiful colours. You get the canvas, you get a needle, and the finished picture is, of course, Van Gogh's sunflowers. It's going to look stunning. Let us know once you've done that. The Monet one is another brand new one today. That's really pretty as well, isn't it? Another lovely wall hanging or cushion. Out of the two, actually, this one has been very, very popular as well. I think this has actually been more popular than the sunflower. So that is available £38.50 with your instructions, with all the thread needle included as well. Brand new technique though today. This is so exciting. We want to know how you get on with it. What we love is the fact that it's just so neat on the back. In fact, you don't see anything on the back. But we've got two different options. So you've got the white and you've got the cream. So we'll do the white first. So in the white, you get the white Ada, and you get two different patterns. Now, this is the one that you get to use all three of your stitches that we've learned today, but you can watch back the demo on YouTube. It's really difficult to find any books, actually. There's not that many books on Huck, I know Jenniffer was saying. So definitely watch back this demo to be able to find out, you know, exactly if you miss out any of it, then you'll be able to watch it all back. So that's the one kit. The other one is on the cream Ada. And these are the templates that we were just demoing right now. Please, please, please do check out of your basket. So that's the one that we were working on in the demo. You also get this one. So that's just a close-up of these. So then you can see really clearly exactly where your stitches need to be. £13.49 with the cream.
a set of skeins as well that you can get as well. We've got an image. It's the really bright, vibrant ones, which I think if you are working on this for the first time, if you're dabbling with Huck, then this is a great chance to, well, you'll be able to see very, very clearly exactly which lines you have done. I know 10 people have got those in their baskets, and they're such beautiful colours for lots of projects that you're doing, whether it be your cross stitch or embroidery or Huck, but they are there for just £9.49. I am back with you tomorrow. Should we have a look at what we've got coming up? Lucy's going to be joining me tomorrow. Lucy's going to be here, and we've got workroom tools at 8 a.m. We've got the compass quilt with Lucy. At 10 a.m. it is our fabric show, and 11 a.m. we've got a spider's web cushion again with Lucy Brennan, so you can watch all of these lovely demonstrations. But thank you ever so much for your company today. We've seen loads and loads and loads of new buyers. Don't forget, you can continue to watch the replay on Sky or watch back all of our demonstrations 24 hours a day on YouTube. But yes, I will be back with you tomorrow, live bright and early from 8 a.m. So from all of us here at the Sewing Quarter, thank you for your company today, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye!
Tune in on Wednesday the 11th of April when we are joined by the fabulously talented Lucy Brennan. Lucy will be showing us how to make a beautiful compass quilt designed by Jo Avery. This colourful quilt uses foundation paper piecing to create a kaleidoscope of colourful curves in bright, solid and patterned colours. With colours of pink, orange, yellow and green, this quilt will be the centrepiece of any room. So join us and find out Lucy's quilting tips and tricks to create your very own compass quilt on Wednesday, the 11th of April at 9 a.m. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.